All right, welcome Speed Gaming to Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer between Maniacal and apathyduck. This is a semi-final matchup. What's really cool about this matchup, neither one of these two has ever made a finals. The winner will face Aussie, who has made a few finals. My name is Tracy M. With me today is Ace Zero. How are you doing, Ace?
I'm doing great, Tracy. How are you?
I'm good. What do you think is... we got two new people going for a final spot. We've had... we're going to get at least one new finalist here. Who do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. It's funny, though, that you say new people, because Maniacal and Apathy Duck are not new to
No.
either of these
This,
games. The combo randomizer to
well,
just
I
speed
mean,
gaming in general.
compared to each other, Duck is new compared to Maniacal, but that's like you know, that's only because Maniacal was like a day one beta tester, from
Yeah,
the beginning.
that and Duck was
Uh,
too busy with vanilla speedruns for a little while before
yeah.
getting more into the randomizer scene. But I don't know. It's really this is a great matchup on paper. Hopefully, we get just as good of a match live.
Ooh. Okay, we're gonna get flippers and we're gonna get a mirror because that is a that is a glove we need. I mean, I say that, but Duck and I have discussed this. There's actually the glove. There is the potential for the gloveless seed because of the fast cannon. It'd be very, very rare. It would take some very specific situations, and probably an Aga seed or let's go through Meridia a bunch of times seed. So that wouldn't be very much fun. Obviously, Ice and Totorock would have to be pendants, but could happen.
Yeah,
and nice bush crab.
unlikely. Yeah, Duck taking a little bit more of an old school route here, going to Uncle, so far nothing. First item,
Yeah, I would
bombs are
say
nice, and a little bit of rupees too to get started. Even just 20 is really nice to get
yeah, absolutely.
started off on the right foot for Kakariko.
Yeah. SMZ3 a little more stingy with the money because you get extra junk items like missiles and stuff. But yeah, that glove is really interesting.
Oh,
and an ether on Lumberjack. That's a big time to be determined. We might have to go and get that. We might not. Would involve those glove mitts dungeons. Those I do think I don't think we'll ever get a gloveless seed, but a mitless seed. Given that there's one less mitts dungeon in SMZ3, that I could absolutely see happening. We do get a moon pearl from Maniacal, so that's a nice find.
so no
Duck will
pearlless
get
seed.
this. Yeah. Yeah, we'll save that for cross keys and Link to the Past only.
Yeah, Duck not actually checking that first bush crab. We'll see if he goes up and checks the one in Lost Woods.
Yeah, I
Looks
bet
like
he
he'll
does.
looks like he'll get the bombs in the drop down anyway, even if he doesn't do that. So he'll
Yeah,
be
Duck
okay.
is very critical of the lumberjack check before you have boots. So this is not a surprise for that he is going this direction, and sadly kills the crab before he can get more than one bomb.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, especially if you get some rupees or some bombs early. Even just like I said, 20 rupees puts you up in really good shape to potentially just buy the the 50 rupee bomb pack. And actually, honestly, the blue cane actually might be helpful for Duck here. Having that might make him not need as many bombs for like mini Moldorm Cave. That actually could save him a little bit.
Yeah, if you could get a magic drop, that'll help him. Although we get a hook shot and mini Moldorm Cave is basically free. And a bottle, which is only significant because it does mean we get to check Sick Kid. Our first super pack is a nice thing to have. So Duck will be happy to see that hook shot. It's nice to have something to kill the mini Moldorms that's not bombs. Not that it's hard to do the bomb strat, it's just you don't have to think about your bomb count. You just have to make sure you have enough to get in there and, save one for Ice Rod Cave, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And also, yeah. I mean, I guess in this case we have the bush crab right on the way to get more bombs, but yeah, it's just nice not to have to think about it, and a lamp is really a nice early find.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close with that sword, especially to Aga Tower.
We are. Now,
one sword or one cape away.
SMZ3 hard required Aga seeds are so rare. And even, because, I mean, you see them logically required on occasion. Of course, if that ether is required, it will be hard required. But for Dark World, there's almost always a way to work around it, even if you, sometimes you don't want to work around it, like a Suitless
Yeah.
Meridia to Dark World. Maybe you just kill Aga. You know, if
Yeah,
your
I
other
think
option is Suitless Meridia.
I think with that ether there, it probably gives it just a little bit more value, especially
Yeah.
if they find the boots
Yep.
early. Like maybe instead of going to some of the really far off checks, like the Morphless SM stuff,
Yeah.
maybe they just hop into Aga anyway. If like that's what's left with the cape.
Okay, and it's in logic. I mean, this is
Yes.
in Link to the Past only. I see this, and I'm headed to Aga. Not right away. I mean, I'm doing things like South Shore first, but
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of things that I'm skipping and going straight into Aga. But SMZ3, just again, it's so much more rare. We'll see if either one of them pulls the trigger early. Just that ether is such an unknown. Of course, Duck doesn't even know the ether's there. So
yeah. I think you do South Shore first here for sure.
absolutely.
Probably Sahasrara and Eastern even while you're there. But well, not only because Aga takes a while in general, but like having just one more item to make it easier,
yeah.
like a fire rod or a bow or
Oh,
even a
Fighter Rod.
boomerang to do like more close to NMG strats.
Fighter Sword Aga sucks.
Yeah, especially no boots. Like it's just
pretty much any offensive weapon you could pick up will make it better.
those red guards are pretty tanky. No shield even. Like the shield is really helpful for blocking
It
some
is,
of the
yeah,
projectiles.
absolutely is.
Yeah, looks like we got Pendant Eastern. Might give a little bit more value to checking that early, since you probably won't have to come back with the bow later. And Red Crystal Hera.
Yeah, it's much nicer. If I can, I'm much more likely to dip a Pendant Eastern than a Crystal Eastern that I know I have to, I am committing to double dipping it. Well, almost. I mean, yeah, there is the rare occasion the bow is there, but you don't go in there expecting that to happen. You go in there expecting you're going to have to come back.
For sure. And, oh yeah, bush crabs, that's right. I almost forgot they were the bombs for a second, thinking Duck was going to maybe have to make some decisions here going to South Shore, but...
Nope, he'll
get a few
farm
more.
the bush. Yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll get at least one, even if he accidentally kills it again.
First reserve tank. I don't think we've gotten an E-tank yet.
No E-tanks, no power bombs to note yet. Those are going to be really important, at least the first one or two packs for getting through the early areas. Duck moving diagonal, try to push that block, having some trouble.
Ooh, hi flippers. Probably need those.
Place.
Yeah, a very appropriate place. Oh, Maniacal. Actually, they're both going to Gina. That's interesting.
I hear people see this. Yeah, I hear people make this distinction that if you're going to the left from the dam to grab the item, you might as well just keep going left because you're as close as you're ever going to get to a Gina.
I know Maniacal has actually talked about doing that in the past. I don't generally do that.
Pretty negligible. I wonder if the looming Aga play is kind of influencing at least either of their decisions.
Especially Maniacal because of the ether that's there.
I mean, yeah, maybe just thinking like, oh, am I going to do Aga? If I do, I really need to make sure I check the stuff that could burn me later, because if this is something important and you don't check it early, like you're going to check it really, really late and could potentially be in big trouble. But just bombs, which is actually going to help Duck out since it's this last bomb.
Oh, Aussie in chat telling us that Duck always does this. Now I know Maniacal probably did it because of the flipper location. And one other piece of the puzzle in terms of this being a potential Agassi, that glove sitting there on Lake Hylia Island is guaranteed to be accessible only through the Dark World. So that is one of those items that gets you into the Dark World, guaranteed not available.
Right.
So it's another piece of the puzzle of how this might end up being an Agassi. And the Moldorm's also dropping bombs. So.
Sure, Duck necessarily needs to farm this one, but not too far out of the way.
There's our power bomb. There's a screw attack, which is a spicy item when you don't have more fall. Screw attack does very little logically, especially in hard mode SMZ3, unless you don't have more fall. And if you don't have more fall, then it opens stuff up. Opens up the gauntlet location. It opens up two items? The two items in pink, big pink, and of course the Terminator item.
I think Duck being stubborn with his lack of menuing here. Probably just be worth the time to eat it and take the menu. Especially with this movement advantage with Maniacal hookshotting these bushes to go a little bit faster since he's got it equipped. But yeah,
the problem with the screw attack is, do you follow it before? I mean, it's 4 items. It's 4 items. One of them is completely out of the way of the other 3. Instead of doing Aga, and especially if you're Maniacal and you know that Ether is sitting there. Unfortunately, we have no money, and Zora completely in logic. I really think that both Link to the Past and SMZ3 should place a single 300 rupee somewhere. If Zora's got to be taken care of early.
Placed it in Houlihan Room. If you really need it, you get desperate. But having flippers and no glove makes the setup hard to do. There is one you can do, but I'm not actually familiar with it. It's the uncle drop down. You can set that up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
if you have flippers and no glove. But
yeah, I've seen the boots setup.
It's still like really far away to like get there. Walk all the way there just to set up the Houlihan is pretty bad. Okay, not grabbing the power bomb.
I would totally grab that power.
That's a tough call.
You know you're going to end up with like 35 of them by the end of the game, but man, oh man, the early game having 10 instead of 5 makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
First, Morph Ball could be like in Turtle Rock or something, and by the time you get there, hit your Morph. Okay.
Ooh, looks like Duck going straight to
well, he's going to do Hyrule Castle.
He's already done Uncle, so I don't think you go back here just for the front of the castle. I guess Lamp gives you a really good chance of getting the back, especially if you just steal the key. You're guaranteed to go through.
I would totally steal the key here. Because you know you can, because it's not key sanity, so you know you can get the key refunded somewhere to go back. It is slower though.
It is slower. The death warp's pretty quick with 5 hearts, green mail. So I do generally agree, but there's definitely a case to be made otherwise.
And especially from Duck's standpoint, he doesn't know about the item. Okay. Yeah, he's stealing the key. He's totally stealing the key. Now, I'm not a fan of this play in a key sanity mode. In key sanity mode, I would, go all the way down and reset. It's nothing. But we don't have to. He's guaranteed to get a small key either at Dark Cross or in the back. Maniacal filling up his bottle with the green, maybe anticipating a potion unlock in pod, or maybe just wants the extra green. I always forget to do that, and it's really slow anyway. If I want a potion, I hope for a flute with a shot. Okay, Maniacal also gonna leave those power bombs behind. See what he does.
I'd like to see Sahasrara. I think it makes a little less sense maybe for Maniacal since he didn't do Uncle yet, but at the same time, I feel like Maniacal plays a little bit more conservatively than Duck in general. Mm-hmm. I feel like whenever I watch these two, Maniacal just does everything that makes sense all the time, and that's why he's so good, because he's so good at reading the logic and doing smart plays. Yeah. Not that Duck doesn't. He does a lot of things that surprise me, and usually it's really good, clever things that I just never would think of.
Sure.
But it's just such a different skill set, a different approach to the game. I like getting this information early too. The green pendant information, especially with the SM being shuffled, SM boss being shuffled as well. If it's like Ridley, it's nice to know early. If it's Dragon, you don't have to check your map an extra time.
Yeah, okay, so I didn't see what the third item is, but we got a key and a map in the back here. Duck is trying to death warp, and rats are not good for death warping. Just use bombs. Maniacal not going to go into Eastern. I would have liked to have seen him go into Eastern just because, again, it's a pendant. So chances are you won't have to ever go back. But I would expect he's going to do a similar play to what Duck's doing right now. We'll see if he also steals the key. Stealing the key, clearly not worth.
Yeah, and the key was, I completely missed it. Was the key the Dark Cross? Or the key was in the back?
The key and the map were in the back. I did not see what the item was. So if chat caught it and could let us know. Even if it's just trash, you want to tell us that it was just trash. I'm sure it was just trash because nothing lit up on the tracker. We do have Scupula doing the tracking. Trackers,
20 rupees.
always.
Okay. Thanks, Scoop.
Always our
Appreciate
MVPs. Can't do it without them. So huge shout outs to Scubula.
Yeah, so the key being in the back means all this is glove locked, so anything Duck
Yeah,
finds here is
out of logic.
logically behind the glove, or one of the two gloves. If it's one glove, we know what it's behind. But missile so far.
Yeah, I don't expect we're gonna find anything down here.
I don't either. I think with getting the screw attack and the Aga unlocked, with flippers and hookshot too, that takes us all the way to West Dark World. So it's really looking like that's where the progression is. And with Pod as the green pendant, I wouldn't think you'd go in there without the bow, without the hammer, without it being a crystal to need the keys you're gonna stumble into. Oh, Duck's gotta be careful. Okay.
Yes, I know you want a death warp here.
Just not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, all a complete trash.
Yeah, that's the third tank now. We've seen an E-tank and two reserves, so it's a lot less valuable. The first reserve is great, and it's extremely helpful in a lot of cases, especially like hell runs. If you're, a suitless Ridley fight, which doesn't come up nearly as often in SMZ3 as it does in, say, just SM Rando, but can be huge in those situations. But the second reserve is much less valuable.
Okay, and Duck just gonna do Aga, which is kind of interesting because, yeah, I mean the way he played this, I'm not surprised at all. He's counting on this being the answer. He doesn't know that there's an ether medallion. Man, I would. Maybe this isn't the room I use the bombos in, but I definitely would find a place to use that bombos.
Yeah, probably the first room with the red guards up at the top of the tower, the one with the two bats on the torch.
I think
that's where I'd use it if I remembered to use it.
Yeah, I think Duck has one bombos cast here. Maniacal probably has full bar magic, so he's got 8. No, sorry, 4. It's 2. Actually, does Duck even have enough for 1? He might not.
Oh, he probably doesn't with just the slight cape usage to get into the front of the tower. He's probably down by just a hair.
Okay, Maniacal's gonna go ahead and get his front of escape stuff and find out it was nothing.
And I think he follows suit after that as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, the answer could still be Zora, but we have no money. The answer could still be any of those screw attack checks. I might have gone for the screw attack checks. It's a really hard call, especially if I were Duck and I didn't know that there's a potentially required item sitting at Lumberjack.
Right. That and Duck had already scouted Uncles. That's 2 less checks at the front here that could bail him out of the Aga commitment.
But again, he does know that glove is sitting there on Lake Hylia Island, which is, again, one of our Dark World access items. And we know that's one less Dark World access item that's available.
Yeah, this is the room that's rough.
Oh, this is a terrible room.
You take a lot of damage from those guards. You don't have the shield to block their projectiles, in this case. And Boomerang's nice.
Duck, please.
That's a really scary boomerang usage. Oh. I think he had it if he didn't try to use the boomerang.
Yeah.
He just kind of panicked and tried to play it safe and ended up getting himself in more trouble. But
I mean, Duck a really strong NMG runner, but when you don't have, you think of the stuff we have in NMG, he doesn't have the Master Sword. He doesn't have the bow. It's a very common, a lot of usage of the bow. It doesn't have the shield like we talked about. Yeah, it doesn't have the boomerang.
Yeah, because that room, ideally, you dash into the room, use your Master Sword, and you use the boomerang to tink against the door to aggro the guards. So it doesn't have the boots, Master Sword, or the boomerang. It can't do any of those things, really.
Maniacal. So Maniacal gonna catch up a little bit. I mean, Maniacal does have a few extra checks, having already done Saha and already knowing what's on Lumberjack. So he's got a little bit of a, he's not really behind because he's done those extra checks, but Duck giving him back some time with that death.
Yeah, I don't believe Duck did Ice Rod Cave either, which was nothing, but I think he skipped out on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if you don't do Ice Rod Cave early, ideally you want to hit it when you leave Meridia, and you can mirror to it. It doesn't always work out that way because the mirror doesn't always like to show up. Yeah, Maniacal's already breaking out that Pombos, and I fully, wholeheartedly approve of this. Like, you're not going to use it on every single room, but any room where the fighter swords can take like 8 slashes, let's just use the Pombos. Like right here, these guys will go down to a couple of spins.
I think if you get them set up right, these 2 red guards, you can get them, at least like Duck's doing here, double damage. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, very well done second
really
attempt on that
replace the need in this one too. But
yeah,
the gold guards and the first one with the red guards upstairs, you're going to save time using Bombos for sure.
Yep.
That's really heads up for Maniacal to not just think, oh, these medallions are slow, I shouldn't use them, which is sometimes the trap that I get into. It feels slow, but it's better than the alternative.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, Duck about to get to the top. Now, for those of you that aren't used to SMZ3, they are not guaranteed the same number of blue balls. So each one of them is going to get a different number. I mean, I'm even going to use it in this dark room here.
Too bad it doesn't light the torches.
You know, that is too bad. Yeah, you're definitely using it here. I think I don't think he has another cast after this, so I think I would have left it for the next red guard room. But I mean, either way, I think he's gonna be fine. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, he's gonna use his. Okay, okay. He just says, you know what? I don't need this green goo later. I'm just gonna use it now. And I think that, you know, you might as well use it since you got it. And this should be the last room he really uses it in, because, you know, you don't have to kill anything in the next rooms. And, you know, the one room where you're running into things, you can get through pretty fast. Like, this room I always think I call it the stupid room, because you got these 3 really tough enemies, you just walk right by them. I'm not entirely sure why the game doesn't make you kill those enemies.
The Neapolitan room? Because you got 3 different flavors all mixed together.
That works.
That's actually the vanilla name for it.
Nice.
Casually. Oh, okay, so looks like we got the other pendant at Meyer. We got SM tokens at Swamp and TR. Red Crystal Skullwoods. So no pendants in SM.
Yay.
No red crystals in SM. Just a couple crystals and a couple bosses. I was making sure Maniacal didn't die and I missed the ledge item.
No, I don't think Duck picked it up, so
he did not grab it, so it must not be good. And as expected, no pod dip. I think this is smart.
Yeah, we don't have a bow, and the hookshot says go to West Dark World. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, like if you want to go back to it later, like you can still get to it without too much work. So it could just be getting kicked out immediately without the key. You know, you don't want to go there and get, you know, like a heart piece in the front in the first chest, and then either leave or do a potion glitch or mimic clip to try to sequence break a pendant dungeon. That's just a lot of time for nothing when he's got
absolutely. You might
plenty to do over here.
You might never have to touch it.
Really wants to make his way over to Village of Outcasts and Hype Cave ultimately to get a bunch of stuff. I think he only had 1 blue ball also, so that's a pretty good RNG unless I missed one. Maniacal's also at 1, I believe.
Only really bad if somebody gets an extra lightning strike. Okay, there we go. Agate down for Maniacal. Duck heading straight for Skullwoods. I like this in this scenario, because to come back here, you have to go all the way back around from the pyramid. So I don't always check Skullwoods early. I am not of the it's just overworld, because there's like 3 keys, a map, a compass, and a big key. But in this scenario, you want to, you know, if nothing else, you're looking for a hammer to make Thieves Town fully completable, guaranteed. You're looking for a glove to make your life, you know, just get to that dark world access earlier. You know, there's plenty of things you're looking for, and if the item is here and you miss it, you're going all the way back around. And we get a super missile.
How did Duck take 1 heart of damage off the mummy? Am I crazy?
I think he hit the Stalfos first. He must have hit the Stalfos.
No, in the first room, where there was only 2 mummies. Or did he get a heart drop?
I don't know. I don't like that he didn't go steal the key. Like, I absolutely hate the drop down.
I actually agree with that. There's some scenarios, especially if you're using quick swap, where it can be faster, but it's really rare, and you're gonna want the key later. Does get nice luck with the key in that one, yeah.
Yeah, I tend to go in there, check that chest first. If it's a key, I check the front, and then if my plan is to clear as much as I can, then I go steal the key from the middle. Come back.
I know Maniacal is generally a fan of taking the drop down. Just jump in at first, which if you're gonna do it, that's the time to do it, is right away.
Now, it is still guaranteed to be a small key in Pinball Room in SMZ3. So it's, it's not, in this case, if you drop down, you are guaranteed to get the small key. And Maniacal isn't going to go into Skullwoods right away. Checking Sea House, just get some missiles.
Yeah, it's
okay. The other items in the
not
back.
Too much.
He's not going to miss out on anything. Hopefully he doesn't get baited into walking all the way around.
At least for Maniacal especially, he's been more thorough so far, so that he knows there's not as much that could burn him, outside of Skullwoods. It's not like he's left too many loose ends before this.
Yep. And we got a charge beam over in the chess game, which is nice. We still want ammo because we don't want a 300-shot Mother Brain fight, although most likely we'll get some sort of beam upgrade. Well, so far, Village of Outcasts not giving us any of the goods. I'm kind of expecting to see a mirror somewhere around here to get that glove.
Yeah, that opens a lot. That opens all of Death Mountain and even, I guess, just one SM check at high jump boots at this point. High jump E-tank, that is.
Yep.
But all of East Death Mountain would open up with the hook shot there. Old Man Rescue, Spec Rock. And all of Hera as well.
Okay, now the question's going to be, are we going to do the back of Thieves Town? So far, we found a compass and a big key. It's kind of funny. I like to do this, go do the back more likely if I don't find the small key, because then it's a 50-50 shot that the small key is available at all, and you don't have to worry about the big chest. Whereas with the small key, it actually puts more stuff in logic that could be the hammer, but yet your chances are really then high that you're going to leave an item behind in the big chest if you don't find the hammer. See what this last chest is. Okay, 2-item front. No small key. I think he's gonna go back, and I think I like this.
Yeah, if you skip Skullwoods, it's hard to skip another, especially required and completable dungeon right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if, like you said, the boss isn't in logic without that small key. Or potentially, I guess we could find the small key in the maiden cell, which is in logic.
Yeah, and that's what you hope to not have happen. you want to keep blind out of logic. I mean, you don't care, you kill him anyway.
Unless he's got that hammer for you.
Yeah,
then you feel good that you did it, and maybe your opponent didn't.
Yeah, but then do you go back in for the big chest if you know it's not?
Not.
Yeah. Just always feels bad to leave that item in the big chest.
Yeah, it for sure does. But it's one of those things that's almost like the meta is so well known that that's what most people do, like 99%. Like, it's so rare that you're going to get burned on that, and your opponent's going to find it anywhere other than almost last location, so you just accept it. Duck, I think, has a little bit more of an argument for potentially skipping the back here, but still obviously choosing not to do that. And this is a crystal specifically.
There's the map. Now you really want that small key to just be in the big chest. Because now 50-50, you're leaving an item in the big chest. Now, to answer chat, yes, the small key can lock itself. As long as it's not locking anything else, the small key can lock itself. But it does mean things aren't in logic because, the key logic, and I'm not going to try and explain all of key logic, but Link to the Past key logic basically says if there's 2 doors and 1 key available, then it's not in logic. And, you know, so this is going to give us a key here. If the main cell has a key, then we can open that door just fine. And if it doesn't, that means that one of those pot keys could have been used badly to open this door. And then lock us out of breaking the floor. Because we don't have a hammer.
There was another nice Bombos use. Maniacal being very heads up, remembering he doesn't have the glove to lift the rock. And there's that key we didn't want.
Yep, there is that key. We are leaving an item behind in these. And now both runners are going to leave the item behind. So it's going to be even. Oh, jeez, don't fall, Maniacal. 4 heart blind, not... I mean, he can grab the pot heart up here and make it 5 heart blind, but not ideal.
Yeah, he should be fine. Both these guys are really solid on the script for the fight.
Yeah, stay on script, you're fine. As soon as you get off script, that's when it gets scary.
There are very few runners at this caliber. One notoriously so does not know the blind script.
Yeah.
You can be very good at this game without knowing it, but they also have the cane and the cape, by the way. Completely forgetting that those are other safeties that.
Yeah, I like
Maniacal, just in case. Yeah, he's getting ready to use it.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be. You don't want to be using the cane for all 3 rounds of the fight because you don't. You know, one magic bar you have to actually turn it off and turn it back on to actually finish the fight. But with half magic, I think you can just leave it on the entire time. So you at least want to get through the first part of the fight. But
yeah.
Staying on script through round 1 is easy. Staying on script through round 2, harder. But you know, if you don't stay on script for the 3rd round, you're probably going to be fine with that cane.
Right. And Maniacal looked like he was good on the first round. He lost a little time somewhere. I missed which hit it was, but he was a little late on the end of the 2nd round. So it was definitely a good choice to go ahead and use that.
Yeah, I think once something
he hadn't done a map check yet and beat Thieves Town anyway. That's kind of bold.
Well, I mean, the music would tell him.
I guess. Oh yeah, because the SM tokens are crystal music.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's no MSU, and we don't have the MSU packs in SMZ3. A lot of people put a lot of work into vetting those to make sure that those were all okay in Link to the Past. It hasn't been done in SMZ3.
I'd love to hear some, like Meridia music when it's the Dragon token,
would be awesome.
And Ridley music when it's the Ridley token. Like,
yeah,
that's what they need to add. Maybe not for the whole dungeon of Ridley music. That might be a little much.
Oh, just lower Norfair.
Just LN, yeah, that'd work.
Just the area music. The Red Brinstar music is, the lower Norfair music, my 2 favorites.
Maniacal grabs a couple extra digs. I gotta appreciate his rupee count there. 0187. Not sure why he did those extra digs, but I'll pretend like it was for me. I'm gonna take it personally, and that he's honoring me with that number.
There you go.
But importantly, he is probably just thinking and planning ahead, making sure he's got enough for pod if that does come up.
Yeah, I mean, we're nowhere. We're still nowhere close to Zora.
No, that wasn't the hammer.
That was power
bombs.
That was
power bombs. I swear that was a hammer.
Yeah, not even close to Zora. No good play. Gosh, if this turns out to be Zora, yikes, because we're at 187 rupees.
Yeah, and Duck did not do those extra digs, so does not have the pod money.
Nope.
If it comes to that.
Maybe Duck will do the Screw Attack locations first. And plus there's the 2 Blue Brinstar locations. But let's see what Hype Cave has for us. A little bit of money? It's not enough. Come on, give us a mirror. That's not a mirror. Oof.
Shovel's pretty gross.
Shovel
all by itself. Duck trying to lift a rock, forgetting he doesn't have gloves. That's so easy to do right there.
Oh gosh, all the time. All the time.
That's the hardest one to remember for me of any of those, of the glove spots. That people sometimes go to Spike Cave without one, or the rock in Thieves Town, but that one on the way to Hype Cave is the one that gets me.
Yeah, the Thieves Town one's the one that gets me.
Yeah, There are some vanilla categories that you don't have gloves when you enter Thieves Town, so I have practiced at least a few strats for that. So I'm a little bit more accustomed to it.
I mean, I go into cross keys Thieves Town with that glove pretty regularly, so.
We get some nice divergence here. So Maniacal continuing on to pod definitely makes sense. He planned the rupees out, it seemed like, and nice continuation. Duck's gonna go check the shovel, and we'll see what he does after that. Because this is basically a one-off. There's not anything else over here.
No, there isn't.
We got the bottle vendor item. We got the sick kid item. Nothing else to do in Kakariko, so.
Yeah, could be that's maybe he will reset to SM, do that screw attack. Oh,
he might save and
well,
quit, and then reset to SM.
I think we're going to SM, and Maniacal may end up. Maniacal needs to find something in pod. I mean, this is SMZ3 is a 2.5-hour game, give or take. So, Maniacal losing some time in pod, Duck maybe spends extra time, fill in the blank other location. So this isn't the end all be all of this race if Maniacal finds nothing. But man, oh man, if he could find something good here, that would be really good for him. And Duck can go straight for Gauntlet.
Yeah, screw attack makes this nice and easy. Duck could have opted to refill his reserves, but with an E-Tank, you should be pretty comfy with it. And we'll probably, I guess, follow this down into Brinstar, just do the regular Brin loop with the 10 power bombs, morph bombs,
Gosh,
screw attack.
he could have had 15. Could have had 15.
You don't need it with the rest of the stuff, though. If he didn't have the screw and the morph bombs, he doesn't have crystal flash ammo. I guess the big concern whenever it comes to.
Well, if he wants to do, if you were to choose to do a loop all the way around, do the full loop, go through blooper, and you really want to have 15 power bombs going in.
He's got morph bombs though.
Oh, that's true. That you're right. That will save.
That frees up a lot. You can get to charge.
Yeah, that probably still gets you everything.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we are very, very not bow locked in pod. I fully expect Maniacal to go ahead and mimic clip. Regardless, I don't know. I think did they have 2 bottles? Because I want to say he filled 2 bottles, but he's also really good.
He drank the potion the first time.
He drank the 1 potion,
and then he refilled a second. Yeah, so he doesn't have the potion. He used the second one as well.
Okay.
Going through Aga Tower. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He's gonna have to mimic clip.
I mean, I've seen him do this very quickly. I've seen him do this bufferless, so we'll see what he can do here.
Yeah, Maniacal's really good at that kind of stuff, like these kind of more technical, specific strats. Like, he learned to hover, I think, really quickly. It's definitely a unique skill that's not maybe the hardest thing in the game, but it's its own particular skill set. And he's just good at picking up things like that.
Was something that he kind of could do before, and didn't hit it very often. Then about a year ago, when he started coming back to to just Link to the Past only, he put a lot of time into learning how to hover, like, really well. And so he can do most of the hovers that you want to see. And a couple of E-Tanks for Duck here in Brinstar.
Yeah, the big problem with this mimic clip is that it's 1 item and 1 key, or potentially could have been just 2 keys over here, so it's a lot of time for not a whole lot yet.
But it's not something you have to worry about later. He is going to have to death warp here because no hammer. But yeah, this is a completely logical pod, which is kind of conspicuous, given that we really didn't find anything in West Dark World.
I think I would have, actually, in a Maniacal situation, would have not done the mimic clip and just gone to the back with that 1 key, knowing that there's at least 1 on the right side. There could have been 2. Yeah. You risk the big key being over there and orphaning the big chest, but it wouldn't be in logic anyway, so it's not going to be.
Yeah,
progression.
Yeah, sometimes I like to force the game to make me go over there. But yeah, so far I said there's nothing over in West Dark World. We had a morph ball, a shovel to a morph ball in West Dark World, so it wasn't nothing. But I mean, if you walk into pod and you find out it's not bow locked, and you're Maniacal and you didn't find anything in West Dark World, you're feeling pretty good that there might be something here, and there still might be.
We haven't gotten a lot behind the morph ball yet either. Got a boomerang, a few E-tanks,
Yeah.
a little bit of money and ammo. That's about it so far.
Okay, that's all the keys.
I guess it's a good way to get Zora money too
Yeah,
from
that's
Pod.
true.
So that's
We're
nice.
getting closer.
Taking advantage of those rupees there.
And Maniacal's gonna do the shovel spot after this if this is nothing. Whereas if this is something, we don't know when Duck gets here. Running out of things.
You know, I wonder if the fact that both Bowlock dungeons are pendants increases the value of the Mimic Clip.
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
Never potentially need to find the bow. It's
There's
just
the map.
potentially cutting an item out of the logic chain entirely.
Oh yeah, that's really
Yeah,
true
that,
because we don't have to do. I mean,
don't do GT.
both these runners can
spin.
mimic clip through GT if they had to. So the fact that the fact that we're fast scanning is not that relevant in terms of the bow. But I mean, logically, yeah, we may never find a bow. There might be a bow in GT that we're just never gonna find. Pod had nothing.
Yeah. Do have a Various suit though, so that's
opens
up our ice beam. That was a big pink, the upper missile.
Basically free. Wow. So okay, so if you go yeah, please dig up this Morphle Maniacal because that Various suit available. I guess there's not a lot you could do. We still don't have mountain access, so that Various suit wouldn't have opened anything up for him if he'd gone and gotten it. If the runners had done that before the other
you
stuff.
mean before Morph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you have access to Norfair from the mountain, that Various suit can lead you down a whole lot of rabbit holes. But not without mountain access. I mean, we don't even have illogical mountain. Hey, there's a bow.
Oh, interesting. That's weird based on what we've seen with nothing in Pod.
I mean, there's only 2 more things behind the bow, so... if we get silvers, we can kill... Oh, Vidi's also a pendant, so never mind. I mean, if we need pendant Meyer, we can kill Vidi with silvers if we get him.
It's a few things. We've got the Armos Knights, Helmasaur, Green Pendant, Pedestal. So nobody wants any of that.
All the things that we don't want to do. Oh, Maniacal didn't do
Bottle Bender. Okay.
Okay, well, you know...
Did Duck check that? It was only 1 rupee, so either way, it's not very good. It's a really bad return on investment.
Okay, let's see if Duck decides to go to Blueburn or if he heads down to Upper Norfair. This looks like a Blueburn play.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, obviously, with the Various suit, he's got Morph Bombs. We can do all of Upper Norfair. It's just kind of slow. Like, if that's your only movement, like, you don't want to do infinite bomb jumps up Bubble Mountain or Pantry. Like, those are all really slow. Even just pre-Cathedral is, like...
Oh, yeah.
Unless you can do like the ladder bomb jumps to do it really quick, it just feels really slow.
Even the ladder bomb jump, the double bomb jump is slow. It's just faster than regular. Hey, X-ray scope that we... I mean, if you're gonna get the X-ray scope, let's get it before we actually have to deal with the bosses that actually is useful for. So, you know. Of course, we need plasma as well for that to be of use. But yeah, I like this. You know, I like this route when you have the power bombs to do it. And there's a free ice rod, so...
Yeah, we do have
no
a required TR.
Yep, no ice rod hunt today. Makes me very, very happy. I don't care whether I'm playing or watching or commentating. I do not like ice rod hunts.
Yeah, there are a few situations where it can create some really interesting decisions, but usually it just feels bad for one or both runners. All right. Maniacal also correctly grabbing the blue boomerang.
Okay, so blue burns are going to be required. Hopefully Maniacal does do a full loop now or later. That ice rod not going to make a huge difference if he doesn't get it right away. But if he ends up on the ice rod hunt, that's not going to be fun.
Yeah, I think there's not really great movement for wreck ship either, so it's less incentive to try and say go up red tower into wreck ship and then not do blue Bren.
Yeah.
So I would suspect Maniacal will do the same.
Yeah, I would
have any trouble finding that.
Duck in particular, I would say is probably going to finish this loop hit 230 missiles, hit Bomb Chorizo, and then make his way down Red Tower to Kraid. That's the route I'd be taking here, because I mean we do have. I mean you can do wreck ship right now. You can CWJ. You have the horizontal bomb jump backup. I know both these runners can do it, but it's not really your preferred method of getting over the moat. If you know other options might show up.
Yeah, well, in Duck's, I think PKRD is the route that he runs, so he's definitely really accustomed to those.
Yep.
He might do PRKD now, but I know for a while he did PKRD.
Fantoon first, so yeah.
Fantoon first, so he's definitely used to the moat. You can make an argument for jumping in and just microwaving Fantoon and grabbing the items at the bottom and leaving.
Yeah, I could
come back later if you want the rest. It's a required clear, and there's not a lot that's going to speed up right and left supers, spooky missiles, and the boss itself. Yep. So
now Maniacal still runs Kraid first when he runs any %. So for him, I believe he can do the horizontal bomb jump if he wants to, but he's not going to be as well practiced at it. And we got a wave beam at Bomb Chorizo, which is enough for Duck to say, you know what, I'll just go ahead and kill him. I think it's going to take, just one shot with full beam. Oh, he's got full beam combo. I didn't catch where he got ice beam, but full beam combo will be one shot on Bomb Chorizo. So
ice beam was at 230 actually. So
nice.
Back-to-back beams, and plasma was also pretty close at Billy Mays.
Plasma was Billy Mays.
That's back to back to back. That's 3 in a row.
Pretty
actually.
much, yeah.
Well, I mean, because he didn't grab the mother brain.
I think it was a single arrow at my old mother brain.
Yep.
So we're gonna skip that. We're gonna bomb jump up to this check here. This is one of my least favorite checks if I don't have speed booster or at least space jump. But it is in logic with bomb jump, so we're gonna do it.
It's a long bomb jump for sure, but it kind of can end up out of the way sometimes and really feel bad.
Yeah, you'd think.
If you don't do it, you'd think it's easy to get back to because it's right at the ship, but
at
if you
some
clear
point,
everything else around it,
you're just not getting back. You don't, after a point, you're more likely to be using the other portals, the Meridia portals and the 2 Norfair portals. And you just may never come back here. I think that was just missiles, and he doesn't take it, which, he's got full beam combo. There's no reason to take any missiles that are out of your way. I mean, maybe one more pack of supers, although Ridley's pretty easy with the full beam combo. I'm not even sure I'd worry about that. Oh, we're going wreck ship. Or maybe he's just gonna check this item. Let's see if he's gonna do more than just the item.
Well, the fact that he's grabbing it tells me he's going across.
He's going across.
I didn't realize that he must just main the HBJ.
Yeah, he did
he didn't even set up for the CWJ.
No, he didn't.
Usually you bonk the door to get the free 2-frame setup, and then if you miss it, most people will default to the backup HBJ. But I like that.
Maniacal and Grin rest easy, knowing that all the pod that he cleared was in logic, because it was nothing.
Yeah, the bow being relatively free, from his mind, probably increases the chances that his opponent did it, thinking, okay, Duck might have sunk all that time too, or might do it later anyway with the bow, and it won't be so bad that I did it to find nothing.
Yep. The second statement there may still be true. I mean, Duck might go back and do it later. It is green pendant after all, so it's gonna 2 extra items on the boss. Okay, where are we going, Maniacal? We going to do Blueburn? Looks like he is also gonna opt for Blueburn. But yeah, this is basically a free Fantoon fight. I mean, full beam combo, X-ray, you can microwave. Even if you couldn't microwave, just be...
It'd be two rounds.
Just free 2 round with the charge shot. And, this time, and last time I commentated for Duck, he refused to turn his ice beam back on to get the free 2 round. This time he would already be on, but he's got the X-ray, so it won't matter. Yep, there you go. That's one dead ghost. We'll see how, if he stays and clears this whole thing. He did peek the one item that you can peek.
Yeah, it was a heart container, I believe.
Heart container or heart piece, I'm not sure which, but it was definitely a not required item. And definitely he's not going to pick it up.
Yeah, I would...
I could see bailing and coming back with better movement. I could see staying as well. Like, I think either is a good call. Because you don't really want to come back here if you don't have to. But we've got no movement items, so it does make the top really slow.
Yeah, there's... Top's pretty slow, and then the sponge bath can be tricky as well. If you can't quite get the right position for your bombs to do that bomb jump right at the surface of the water.
It's nice to have bombs to do it, so you don't have to. So you know when you have to do with power bombs, if you have any kind of trouble with it, then you kind of have this little counter up on the top of your screen telling you how many times you failed. But with bombs, you don't have to worry about that. Let's see, no, we're not even gonna save.
Okay.
With bombs, I can see not saving here. I mean, this is pretty safe. Oh, nice!
Nice
I don't
jump
think
out of it.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone bomb jump at, fail the first one and then bomb jump to get up there. But that worked. That was pretty cool.
I'm absolutely going to start doing that because I always do exactly what he did, where you get the bomb, but you don't quite make it to the ledge. And
I never thought
even though you come out of the water, because it's just barely too early, I think, of a placement on the first one. But that was great. Yeah.
See a nice ledge grab climb from Maniacal. You don't get to see the climb every day in SMZ3. And here's the downside. It's just a missile pack, so he can't reset to the save point because he didn't save. It's one of those things where, yeah, you're going to save a little bit of time if you save and reset. But if the item is something you want, or something that's, even questionable, like it's something that you wouldn't go out of your way to get, but you already see it, and you've already got the save, and you have to make a decision. So yeah, if your equipment is such that you're not going to die in this room here, and as we see, if he'd not had that Varia suit, he might have been in trouble there. But with Varia suit, you're not taking a lot of damage. So yeah, not saving I think is fine. Yeah, Maniacal also gonna have to grab that wave beam. I mean, wave beam's gonna save you more time in the long run, not having to glitch gates and such. Maniacal, yeah, full beam combo. I guess 2 missiles and a super is still pretty quickly.
It's not often you get to do this with full beam combo. I actually wasn't sure if it was going to be one shot or if it was going to require more than that. So Maniacal might have been in the same boat, thinking, it's 2 missiles and a super. That's really fast. I know how to do this.
Fair. I think only full beam combo is one shot, because I want to say Bomb Chorizo is 700 and something HP, and the next highest beam combo, the full beam combo is 900. Next highest is like 750, and I think it'd be just a little bit short. Duck skipping E-tanks all over the place. He's got various suits, so he doesn't really need them.
And 3 reserves. So he does have 7 tanks already.
Yep.
Michael also climbing up to criteria power bombs, pretty much just following the same route as Duck, mostly just behind the time of that early pod clear.
Yep.
A little bit later at the shovel check.
Now comes your favorite check of the game.
This is why I would have probably just done the boss and then left, because I hate riding these trippers.
Yeah, it's a very annoying check.
Ice beam can be really good here. Even though it's a little slower, it's nice because you can make sure you get the wall jump. The wall jumps are really awkward since these are moving platforms. Yep. It's not technically any different, except the wall checks, just the wall's moving, so it doesn't...
Yeah.
It just feels really weird.
And Duck did not pre-check the item at behind the speed booster. In a full randomizer, I prefer this, unless I have spring ball. I tend to do it this way as well, because you're gonna run it. You're going to be picking up the Chozo statue item anyway. So by by checking the item. You know, it's slow when you don't have spring ball to do it. You might as well just check it blind and hope it's nothing.
Yeah, especially with like with wave beam, you can climb up that shaft at the end and just shoot through the wall. You don't have to like lay the power bomb to get sight on the item. I actually missed. Did Maniacal go for the CWJ like one attempt, and then if he didn't get it, bail? I think that's
Yeah, he
a
might.
common strat
I
for some
couldn't
people.
tell if he was actually going for the CWJ or if he was just picking up the item blindly. Either way, he's decided not to go to the wreck ship, and we have 3 more items here that are going to be relevant.
I think that's really smart. Even if he did go for it and he missed the jump,
Oh
you
no.
don't just force yourself to get it. You come back later with better movement and you feel better about waiting, unless you are late to gravity and it ends up being important,
That's unfortunate.
which is what's happening. Duck is laying the bomb anyway instead of shooting the item through the
Yeah,
wall.
you could shoot with the wave beam. Okay, so just power bombs there. I mean, Maniacal will get there. He might be able to get. He might get there with better items and be able to do it a little
He
bit
might
faster.
not ever get there. He's
That's
definitely capable
true.
of
He's
not
more
needing
than yeah,
the
more than capable.
gravity suit.
Now, I think he would want. Okay, well that's gonna make it free if he wants to go there.
That makes Wreck Ship a lot better.
Ooh, flute.
That speeds up a lot of rooms in Wreck Ship. All these places we're talking about: Sponge Bath, the
Yeah,
like
and you don't do any
Spiky
of it
Room of
anymore.
Death, the Upper Ocean. Even bowling becomes faster and less damaging. Not that there's a lot of risk of death; it's still just faster. So
Yeah, and he can go back and do it anytime he wants. We'll see. He's gonna do X-ray here and probably do some of Upper Norfair. We'll see when he gets to the wreck ship.
yeah, and of course we'll do Kraid as well.
Yep. That was starting to look like a really empty wreck ship. It was funny that Maniacal was making that decision right before Duck found that gravity suit.
Yeah, basically.
It was looking like he might have been able to save a ton of time by not doing wreck ship. Now, if there's nothing in Meridia, and Duck full clears Meridia, and Maniacal just gets a grapple beam, preferably a high jump, although I'm pretty certain he can go without. Not gonna matter too much because or it's not Maniacal will have Meridia or on Duck. Duck can go do you can do almost all of it right now. Actually, he can do all of it right now. Now, Shack Tool not in logic because reasons. Yeah, you want that Duck. Because for whatever reason they made it so even in hard mode you need the grapple beam. But I'll tell you, if I don't have at least space jump or high jump, I'd rather do the ice clip than try and get up there without.
Yeah, the bomb jump and the gravity jump both really awkward out of the sand for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see Kraid here, and we still don't know whether or not Kraid, Ridley, and Dragon, which one is the other SM boss. We do have one more SM boss token here, and the other 2 are crystals. Doesn't make too big of a difference, except for maybe some ordering at the end of the game. It might matter if one of them's a crystal that's needed to go back and forth before fighting Ganon. We already have the 1 SM boss token from both runners with the Phantoon kill.
I'd grab that.
Rupees.
I would grab that. Zora's not been checked yet. I'd be picking up that 300 rupees.
I guess I haven't been paying attention to whether or not they've grabbed any extra, like 50 rupees or 100. I don't think I saw any 300s, but
no,
maybe
that's the
he's
first
gotten a few more. Maybe he's gotten like 100 somewhere.
Probably has 500 at this point. But that 300 would just flat out guarantee it.
Yeah, he's close after the pod rupee pickups for sure.
I want to say he was at around 400 when he picked up the money in pod.
Maniacal does not do the normalized setup for this Kraid quick kill. That's really interesting. He might have his own timing for it and clearly knows what he's doing. That's really neat.
That Kraid is a crystal. And an E-tank. And that spaceship means we can do everything in Norfair now. Pretty easy. I mean, the bomb's already put Bubble Mountain in logic, but Space Jump makes it a lot easier. And we can finally get to Death Mountain, too. We can actually do a whole lot in Death Mountain. I would expect to see High Jump, Ice Beam, and then Death Mountain. And then after that, decision whether to go do, depending what items you find in those areas, whether, Maniacal decides to do Bubble Mountain and or Crocomire. If this were a normal seed, I'd be beelining Croc with that Wave Beam. Wave Beam likes to show up when Crocomire, because
Well,
it
you
puts
say
it in
that,
logic.
but we did have the bow at Wavegate, so
Yeah, we did. That's true.
I'd be thinking that that's what that would unlock or why that showed up. So
That's true.
I could certainly see, in this particular case, especially skipping Croc.
Let's hard
But
mode,
yeah.
so wait, open anything.
I talked about that normalized setup using the bomb to get in the right place for Kraid that Maniacal chose not to do and got the quick kill. Duck did the normalized setup and misses the quick kill, so maybe it's just a scam.
Yeah, actually, it's a shame. We saw, for anyone that watched the Super Metroid, the last tournament that just ended about a month ago, we saw a couple times where Azure did some really nice. If you do, I think if you do it's either missile charge shot or charge shot missile when you have full beam combo. You got to do it in the right order, because if you don't do it in the right order, you are getting zombie Kraid. But it is a really nice quick kill.
Yeah, luckily the full beam combo cleans up decent enough. During that Kraid DLC,
Yeah, once he stood up, you're fine. Yeah.
We do have the first glove.
Yeah, in Crumble Tower. Very happy to have both Space Jump and Various Suit to pick it up easily. So yeah, Aga required. Gravity Suit, yeah. I mean, we didn't have anything to do Meridia with. And both gloves were behind the Dark World. So yeah, Aga confirmed required. We haven't found the hammer yet. Nice ice escape from Maniacal. We'll see high jump boots and then probably Death Mountain. Duck probably gonna do a similar route here. Some players will do high jump boots before Ice Beam. I don't think it really makes a huge difference.
Going into Bubble Mountain, I think it's not really any different. But if you're going into Death Mountain instead of Bubble Mountain, depends on the mountain, then you probably want to do the Ice Beam area first, since it's a little bit less up and down.
And if you're Duck, you fall down, because Crumble Tower is a horrible room.
He climbs the right side. And oh, we didn't see the item. Okay, it's like.
Oh, that's a okay.
Oh,
well,
okay.
We're gonna do at least Croc escape sooner rather than later. I think Maniacal. Let's see. Is he gonna just go beeline for that?
I think you just go to Bubble Mountain, or you just go to Bubble Mountain at this point first. I think that makes sense.
I mean, you need that item. It's certainly useful in other locations. And maybe
no boots
a few other
for
things on the
Link
way.
to the Past yet, so your movement's kind of slow. No. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's important.
Wow, hammer.
So maybe we get mitts before Death Mountain too, but hammer's also nice.
Yeah, we need a mirror for mitts. Alright, since we're still only on Fighter Sword, that hammer will make the Moldorm fight better. Actually gives us access to Moldorm, now that I think about it. Okay, just heart container some bombs over at the reserve tank area. I could argue that you've got Space Jump to full clear Croc if you want to. You've got the full beam combo to kill him extremely quickly. You don't really want to. You already know you have to get the escape item. I might just do it.
I probably would as well, especially for Maniacal, having not done the wreck ship yet. He's got a lot more checks available. Duck's been more thorough to this point, so like you could make an argument for trying to skip something here. It's kind of it's reversed on that. Although Duck still does have some of the earlier Link to the Past checks on the table.
Yep.
So
He's got a
definitely
full
both can
clearable
have
pendant.
handfuls of things.
He's got full clearable green pendant pod.
Yeah. At least he will after he gets the hammer here in Cathedral.
Yeah, just remember to look. Thank you. I think we've gotten better about not missing this item, but this for a while was a very commonly missed location.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like the meta's changed a little bit in that it's less common to just, if you have speed, plow through the Frog Speedway and ignore Cathedral entirely.
Yep.
Like a lot more people tend to route it on the way into Bubble Mountain instead of the way out, making it harder to forget.
It's another 300 rupees at Maniacal skipping there. I hope he has the money. Oh well, you know what? Yeah, this is okay.
This is really weird. I guess Meyer is a pendant.
Yeah.
So I guess he doesn't. I was thinking not having the cane that you know where it is before going to the Meyer area and LN is risky, but you don't want to go into Meyer anyway.
Well,
this is
you
fine.
have the flute. You know where the glove is. So like the only thing that can screw you up is if the mirror is. Let's see. No, if the mirror is just there, you're fine, right? You're not gonna. Yeah, there's not a lot that can get you.
Even then though, like obviously it's faster with the flute and mitts, but this really isn't a very slow check. Like,
okay, which way is he gonna go? Okay, he is gonna go.
Having all this gear, having the screw attack, the space jump, the gravity suit, the full beam combo, like this is as fast as almost as fast as LN can get. Just no high jump or speed, but you're not saving much by waiting.
Yes,
and you're potentially gaining a lot here.
It's funny because Speed Booster doesn't really add much to lower Norfair. I mean, yeah, you can get fast fillers, but you got space jump with screw attack, so that doesn't really change much for this particular item set. And that's kind of the only place you really use Speed Booster in lower Norfair. Like you always rather have it than not have it. It's always a little bit faster to move around, but there's definitely places where it matters a lot more. Get a free heart container, and we can get have a very quick Golden Chorizo fight. I mean, he could have chosen to just not even check this part and just do lower Norfair. Again, the only thing that would screw him up is if the mirror were somewhere around here, because that's the thing. We know where mitts are. They're on Lake Hylia Island. We just need a mirror to go get them.
I think is Duck getting those power bombs? Maybe he was thinking about it. He only had 3, got 1 more as a drop. It almost would have been helpful just to grab that pack.
Yeah,
for the
I think maybe with
anything.
regular bomb. Yeah, with regular bombs, maybe doesn't need it. Maniacal, I've seen him do this before. We'll go for the gate glitch instead of going for the. He doesn't need to gate glitch here. He's got space jump. He can get everywhere he wants. Fire's Quake, which is interesting, I guess. We don't know if we'll ever need that. So that's all we're going to be able to do here.
That is the 4th reserve, isn't it? On Maniacal side.
I think so. It's a lot of reserves. Unfortunately, Croc not really having... Hey, did Duck scout the cane? I
believe so. Yeah.
He did? Okay.
Yeah, he scouted, then he went into the save room. I think he went to farm the B-Tom.
Yeah, he farmed some power bombs.
But he went down to scout first, I believe.
Okay, so the only thing relevant to Croc is that cane. Now, Maniacal could choose to go down to lower Norfair as well, but he doesn't have high jump. Because he can high jump with lava dive. Maniacal's pretty good with that strat. I don't see him doing that here, though.
I think that's much more risky, and it's not as on path for him since he's already at the Croc area, going away from that, getting the cane. I think Duck's plan is just do LN into Upper Norfair, get the cane on your way out. It doesn't speed up. Doesn't
Yeah,
speed
I
up
think
Ridley
so.
to have a Canis Amaria.
Yeah, I expect he will clear most, if not all, of Upper Norfair. Whether he does Croc or not, I don't know.
This might just be more opportunity for him to skip it. You know, if he finds some good stuff down here, he'll skip it. If not, he'll do
Yep.
it. That could
Yep.
be part of the thought process here. I think I like
Yep.
that strategy. Maniacal should be going to Death Mountain.
Yep.
Probably rescues the old man. Maybe checks Spec Rock and then hook shots over to the east side. Figures all that out into Tower of Hera.
Yep, I like this choice for Maniacal.
Yeah, it's super dense, full of items. And you're still making progression.
The thing I like about the Lower Norfair play from Duck, and it's, the thing I often talk about, Lower Norfair, super linear. You gotta do it anyway. So in everything's almost the only detours, you have a slight detour to get to the Mickey missiles, a slight detour to do like fire fleas. Not a lot of detours to get to these other extra items. So far we haven't found anything here though. And if you have screw attack and full beam combo, you can just make really quick work of this whole thing. And he's got plenty of Mit supers and or full beam combo for Ridley, so nice micro strat on the metal pirate. That's a room that's having speed boosters. Nice. There's the speed booster strat you see people use to kill them, but also the charge beam strat. I don't know how well that works without speed booster. Since you would normally have it if you're doing Hundo or old route. Okay, 20 shots with this beam combination, and they'll supplement some supers. Hey, Maniacal finally gets to 300 rupees. Because he had no choice.
Yeah, I didn't count the supers he used, but it's a pretty nice ratio. 2 supers for 3 charge shots.
Yeah, it looks like he was waiting for Ridley to turn red to, and just leave your 15 supers.
Couple.
He did.
Oh, he left himself 15. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay, so there's the mirror for Maniacal, so he can go get his mitts, and he can go ahead and do Lower Norfair from the back door anytime he wants to.
Which definitely saves time. I think it's a little bit overstated sometimes. From the transition, it's usually around maybe like minute and a half to get there, depending on movement. Could be a little more or less, but that's kind of a general rule I give it. So
everybody's favorite item behind Ridley, the mushroom. Some blue male sitting out there on the floating island, very lonely. That'll probably never get picked up, and that makes me sad.
Oh, interesting. Maniacal dropping down.
Ooh, I don't like this
Spiral
choice.
Cave before doing Hera.
Yeah, I don't like this at all. Oh, he's got the mirror now. You know what? Never mind. He's got the mirror.
He's still gonna have to walk up the stairs, which is it's a lot of walking. But this guarantees that he doesn't have to make a decision between Spiral Cave and Spike Cave. So it's just a way to be really thorough. I didn't quite expect it because sometimes you can try to get something and duck, please. Duck, those are spikes. Stop hitting those.
Yeah, you do have to wall jump a little bit to get out of this area if you don't have high jump boots.
In Duck's defense, yeah, the high jump boots make it very much different. And I think, yeah, just getting the wall check on accident on some of those, it's a little unfortunate. But yeah, Maniacal not doing Hera right now. I guess maybe waiting on boots. That is a crystal. But he's going to opt to do...
with the mirror, though.
Take his flute and go get his mitts and go to LN. He's probably thinking too much about that.
Or with hookshot, and he could... Actually, you know what? He wants to... You know what? Here's what I would do if I were him. I would go back... I would go pick up my mitts, and then I would head and do Dark Death Mountain into Hera. Because I want to know what the medallion requirement is for Turtle Rock. I want to know if that's ether. I mean, granted, we've already done Aga, but
no, that's a good point. We're getting really close to go mode already. Like the sword, the fire rod, those are hard required. Maybe a medallion, maybe boots.
Yeah, if I knew, if I already
Okay.
had boots, I don't think I'd worry about it as much. But yeah, he's gonna go ahead and pick up the mitts. And there's, I mean, this is guaranteed a double dip, at least a double mountain dip. You can't avoid it. So, because the mirror being on Death Mountain and the mitts gonna be, you know, Maniacal's about to pick those mitts up. Meanwhile, Lower Norfair had a mushroom.
Yeah, a bunch of
EVD.
garbage down there. Duck will almost certainly grab all the nothing. These Bubble Mountain area checks,
Yep.
grab the cane, and then probably hit Death Mountain just a little bit behind Maniacal. Has all this LN cleared as far as progress goes, but behind on the item chain.
Now, interestingly,
Maniacal can also pop in to see if the boots are required for Desert,
yeah,
which is
I would
another
do
good
that
help.
too.
It's nice to get,
He's gonna do this
like you were
area
mentioning
first.
with the medallion, you want to know what your go mode is. So when you hit it, you know,
Yeah.
you can stop checking items.
Maniacal could also just do LN right now. I think he'll do. I think he peeks into Desert first, though. Like you said, find out if it's boots required. Actually, the route he could do, which is kind of a nice route, just go ahead and check Desert now. Do Lower Norfair, and then Lower Norfair will spit him out at the Upper Norfair portal, and he could go do the Dark Death Mountain stuff right from there. That would be an option.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really, really clean way to go about it.
Yeah, we don't need more bottles. Okay, yeah, and this will be the Desert check. And if Desert's not boots lock, we're just going to finish it right now. He did not peek this item, Duck did. But it was nothing. I don't like to peek that item unless I have boots. It just takes too long.
I agree.
Or flute, because when you flute 6, then just hop off. It's right there. Very easy. Okay, the torch has a power bomb pack. We do not need that power bomb pack. We are completely not boots locked. We could still be boots for go mode, though, if that ether is required for Turtle Rock. Okay, big chest is going to have a small key, and I think Duck goes and kills Landmo first. Because if it's the item on Landmo, then the right side here will just be map compass and be a big waste of time to do right now. And if it's the map or compass on Landmo, then you still can come back and get it afterwards.
I want to point out the Maniacal getting bullied by the antlion there.
Yeah.
Maybe forgetting or doesn't know that you can mash R and L and it actually pushes you out of those sand pits.
Which is really annoying with quick swap. But we don't have quick swap here.
Yeah, as long as you mash it an even number of times, like each side of each shoulder button, so you don't end up on an item you don't want, it works out okay.
Yeah, and of note, like, you know, Maniacal, you know, took to quick swap very quickly when he went to Link to the Past. Duck, I know, really doesn't like it.
I think that says a lot about like their experiences, how they got to this point, and generally just like it seems like people that are more against it have more experience with the vanilla Link to the Past game, since it does tend to overwrite some of those skills. It increases the skill ceiling, but in a way that nullifies other skill sets, and that can kind of feel bad for some people. But Quickswap definitely has an interesting dynamic for sure. Nice cutscenes. On both sides.
We're gonna go Ice Rod Landmo kill, which is not as easy as the Fire Rod Landmo kill.
Is he waiting on Croc? What's happening here? Okay. Maybe he just went AFK for a second. I think Croc was waiting on him to scroll the screen over.
God, hammer is a terrible weapon for Lamo.
It's tough, especially for the last one with the extra particles. There's not as many safe places to stand while you get good hammer hits.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Sadly,
the map. So.
It's the map, so we have to go back to the right side. But it would feel much worse if you'd gone to the right side and got a map and a compass before killing the boss. So.
Oh, for sure.
So Duck gonna get all his nothing out of the croc area. This just feels so slow without boots. So we'll see how much Link to the Past Duck decides to do. Probably will at least do the Death Mountain stuff. He's gonna reset all the stuff at Croc. I'm not sure where he took his save. If it was before
He
or
saved
after
actually above the croc door, right by the escape.
That's a good place to save. But he knows he needs to pick up Kane, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so it's even more on path than the or not as much to backtrack as if he'd saved after Croc down there.
And Maniacal looks like he's going to go ahead and do Lower Norfair. He has no gravity suit, but has more E-tanks. So not quite as free for him as it was going to be for Duck. But still going to be pretty free for him. Honestly, the biggest thing I have in Lower Norfair is just when you don't have high jump boots, just make sure when you go into the Ridley fight, you realize you don't have high jump boots.
Yeah, for sure. The Ridley fight and honestly, the Key Hunter rooms can be the same. Like we saw Duck took a hit from the Three Musketeers that I would be surprised if he took with high jump boots.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's really easy to like not quite get up on that platform without him.
Yeah,
and it's going to hurt Maniacal a lot more.
And what I mean is, like, oh, hi, Master Sword. I don't think I saw that. I'm not sure
Maniacal saw that. I don't think Maniacal checked it. No, he didn't check those. So eventually, when he goes to Hera, he'll probably
He's going to get a sword.
I'm sure he'll scout. He's going to have to see that, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the thing with the Ridley fight, it's not that it's that one can't do it with high jump without high jump. It's just that it's a different fight without high jump. And if you jump expecting to jump higher, you can get into a lot of trouble. And without gravity suit on Maniacal side, that just adds to the pain if he were to forget. He's a veteran of this game, so he'll be fine. I don't expect him to have any issues, but it's just something to point out. This high jump, missing high jump shows up in weird ways sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's harder to forget high jump than some items like space jump because every jump you feel the difference. The game doesn't let you forget that you have it. But it certainly can throw you off when you just default to your usual strat that you're more accustomed to with it.
Well, we're bad. We completely missed that both runners skip Bottle Vector.
I wasn't sure. I assumed that they checked it when they got, like, especially when Duck dug up his morph ball and didn't continue.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get a fake powder check. This is probably gonna be nothing, but I like to say with fake powder, when it's very rarely anything, but when it's something, it's huge.
Yeah, I'm surprised Duck did this before East Death Mountain. I guess
just because he's already here,
really trying.
The flute,
but
I think that's all
he was on Death Mountain and then he quit to walk to activate his flute instead of going across to the east side.
Yeah, that is.
He's probably trying to get the mirror since he knows that's the only thing he needs to unlock all of Dark Death Mountain too.
Right, and of course he doesn't know that he has to go to Death Mountain to get the mirror to unlock all of Dark Death Mountain.
I think with this many items missing, you probably just that's where the item density is. You just hit item density first because there's a decent chance that mirror might be behind speed booster, might be behind boots, might be behind fire rod, or just in somewhere awful that.
Also of note, we were noticing Maniacal skipping a bunch of the 300s. Duck, maybe you should have picked up a couple of those 300s because you're at 170 rupees.
He can hula hand with that glove pretty easy if he really needs to.
We hope it's not Zora for his sake. If you're rooting for Maniacal, you want something important there, and Duck never get. Well, there's 20 rupees. Get him closer. Okay, he's gonna flute. You're gonna
turn in his
mountain. Oh,
his
turn in the mushroom. Yeah,
probably?
yeah. You turn
mushroom.
that in. That's the other thing is if you know you're gonna turn this in, if you do the fake, if you're gonna do the fake powder, you want to do it. You know, if you can do it quickly and pair it in with something, it makes sense to just do it so that you can now turn in the mushroom and not even think about it. Especially in SMZ3, where resetting the mushroom means going back to SM, and if that's not your intent, oh hello, Fire Rod.
Interesting.
That's that might be. Oh, this is interesting because
I think Duck was thinking about buying a potion, then realized his rupees aren't great, and because he kind of like did a little double back in the doorway there. He might be wanting to go to Skull Woods, but no magic.
I mean,
I'd say just go to Death Mountain.
Yeah, go to Death Mountain.
You'll find magic somewhere or find items that you need somewhere.
But yeah, this is interesting. This is a if Totorock is Bombos, we can go there right now. I mean, once Duck picks up his mirror and hence the mitts, and Maniacal turns in his mushroom, combined they can go there right now. Yeah, and then also we were talking about the resetting the mushroom away, and of course if the item is something, you're not resetting, and then if there's something important not in the powder, you just feel bad if you didn't fake powder earlier. But yeah, it rarely pays off. I've seen it pay off big though, when it does. So Lower Norfair had a mushroom which leads to Fire Rod, so yeah. Actually kind of funny, because we've had two big areas that had exactly one fetch quest item, but the fetch quest item was important. The West Dark World loop getting us the shovel for the morph ball, and now the Lower Norfair giving us a mushroom that leads to a Fire Rod that is hard required because we have to do Turtle Rock. And Skull Woods for that matter. Gotta do them both.
Yeah, I'm curious if Maniacal does the East Dark Death Mountain before turning in that mushroom. I could see it. I could see him doing that for sure, but it is like a quick check. That's the problem. Is the good thing is it's always quick with the flute. Just go right there. And the bad thing is it's always quick, so it's easy to put off forever. Because it's never getting any slower.
You know, and the flute gets you back to Death Mountain really easily, but the spot that you get spit out at on Death Mountain from Norfair is a slightly better location to go to the east. So I know if it were me, I wouldn't want to go turn in that mushroom immediately. I'd be doing the Death Mountain stuff first and then turning it in afterwards and feeling very sad that I could have had Fire Rod and just gone into Turtle Rock.
You know, I think I like this a little bit better than what Duck just did up there, because he also bailed without doing Hera, and I kind of questioned that at the time, but he chose not to do Spiral Cave too. I think that's really smart, since that's such a slow check. If you know you're going to come back soon and grab a bunch of things, and you're not doing what you can because it's going to be faster later, skip more of it and get the item you need first. So, because he might not ever end up doing Spiral Cave if, say, he hits go mode on Dark Death Mountain. You know?
Well, what do we even? We need the mirror. Well, okay, we
need.
We need.
Wait, we don't need anything.
We need the medallion.
Medallions, maybe.
Yeah. What? Wait, he's going into the swamp?
I guess.
I don't like this.
I'm
looking at this, and do we need anything? Like, wait, did he even go to East Death Mountain? That mirror's not checked. No, of course he did.
No, he did.
The mirror. He's going into swamp.
It's equipped.
You can't do this play if you don't have the mirror. That's just dumb. Yeah, I don't. This makes no sense. Like, I'd want to know. Do I need to get that? Do I need we could be in go mode if Turtle Rock is Bombos. We're in no mode.
And Duck saw the sword too, so it's not a sword that's holding him up. He's not thinking, oh, well, I need a sword anyway. I might as well. Go to this dungeon. He might.
Now Maniacal is in a slightly different position because he doesn't have the gravity suit and really doesn't have I don't know what his RBO experience. I know he's run it, but right now for him to do Meridia without gravity suit, he would need to do RBO strats, and he'd have to do them without high jump, which kind of sucks. um, Ideally for him, he finds high jump and spring ball amongst these checks, and then he can just not even worry about gravity suit at all. Okay, there's that Master Sword from Maniacal. Duck, on the other hand, if he's just in go mode, if it's Bombos.
Yeah,
and if it's Quake, then we have to find Quake. If it's Ether, we got to find Boots because Ether's sitting on Lumberjack.
Right, and in Duck's case, he's got to find the Lumberjack and know that that's what's there because he has not checked it yet. So
not checked it.
Boots does not put Duck in go mode personally since he doesn't have that info.
I think it would because I think he would. The first thing he'd do is do the 3 checks
like
up there.
King's Doom Bonk Rocks.
Yeah,
probably, but you never know. It depends on where he finds them. Because if he finds them, or if he finds Boots right here, he's still gonna clear the rest of Swamp. Like.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna hope that Maniacal
maybe Death Mountain first
does Dark Death Mountain so that we can know.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I want to know what Duck's thinking in this particular case. He definitely saw them gloves. We know he saw them.
I mean, if
I'd be surprised if he forgot them. He might be thinking he needs more for go mode because this is pretty fast.
I mean, if he goes back into left side, but that's the other. I don't like doing Swamp Palace, and if I have other options, I want to wait on Swamp Palace as long as I can because I want to make that. I want to have as much information as I can have before I have to make the decision whether to go back into left side.
You were in the right spot. He was in the right spot.
So shout outs to using the speedrun strat instead of the strat that most people use on the right side there.
He had it before he tinked his sword on it and was starting to like creep through, or before the tink, and then he.
There it is.
Didn't get okay. Maybe this is his idea of saying like, okay, well this is just like Ridley. It's on path, so I'm going to do it. This is a linear dungeon, which it really is if you just say you're not doing the left side. I guess
exactly.
I'm trying to get in his head and explain this as best I can. That must be
like Ice Palace is a
that
better
seems to be
choice,
what he's
in my
thinking.
Opinion.
Yeah, but that's you would do if you're trying to do everything on path in the most linear fashion, saying like I'm basically in go mode or I'm maybe in go mode. I'm going to take the risk. You would do Swamp into the, you mirror, grab your mitts, and then Ice Palace after because they line up that way.
Oh, and by the way, Duck has Zora money if he needs it. Okay, we're gonna find out. We're gonna get a lot of information really, really soon here from Maniacal because he's gonna open this portal and he's gonna tell us whether or not what medallion we need. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the fire rod, so he can't just go right in.
Yeah, this is maybe the worst thing about Swamp Palace is this Fighter Sword Argus fight.
Ugh.
You can get 2 puffs hooked and you get the double hit from the spin, but it's hard to do all of that.
Okay, Duck.
It's Bombos.
It's Bombos.
So Maniacal obviously opens it. You're going to need it open eventually. I would be shocked if he went in, at least before checking the other items. He could go in after grabbing Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave.
I actually kind of like the play to go in. I will often go as far as Chomps, and if I get the key layout that lets me go further, I will sometimes leave anyway. Just because it can take you all the way down to Laser Bridge if you get the right small key combination. I kind of like it when it takes me to Chomps and gives me something not a small key at Chain Chomps, because then the next time when you're going through for real, you don't have to worry about that room when it really matters.
Yeah. Yeah, and just dipping in, jumping in, and mirroring. Those offshoots to the sides. Well, I guess the first offshoot you don't have Fire Rod, but the first offshoot to that compass chest, I believe it is, it doesn't really cost a lot.
Yep.
So yeah, Duck getting his glove, and then hopefully goes up Death Mountain. I feel like Ice Palace is a lot worse than Swamp in this scenario because there's more that's like a little bit further out of the way that you have to decide to grab or not grab.
And of note, I want to say it's a 1-item left side Swamp.
Or maybe you just do Meridia. Just go to Dragon.
You could do Dragon.
Then do the rest from the front.
Yeah. Now, of note, Maniacal could call himself in go mode once he gets that fire rod. It's going to be interesting to see how he treats this, given that he doesn't have high jump boots, doesn't have spring ball, has grapple beam, and has the ability. I mean, this is a doable Dragon. You do RBO strats, you grapple jump out, which is more difficult without high jump, and then you use that spark you get from Dragon. He's grabbing the blue mail. I like that.
Yeah, the grapple jump's harder, and getting the spark, having Dragon grab you, and getting the grapple beam on the wall, like that.
Yeah.
Those mechanics, I think, are a lot tighter without high jump. You can't float in the air quite as much before releasing the spark. That's at least my experience.
Yep.
But I think I would suspect if that happens, if Maniacal gets that fire rod soon, doesn't have any better movement, he probably considers himself like a soft go mode and does as many things that have on path checks as possible.
He's not getting that. I don't think he's getting that gravity suit.
Puts off Meridia till the end.
Pretty far out of the way compared to where he needs to go for it. Like he hasn't done wreck ship yet, and that's the second to last check in the wreck ship. So, I mean, I'd have to call this advantage Duck, but he needs to go to Death Mountain to find out that he's in go mode.
Yeah, if he's doing, like I was saying, just does on path checks, and if he does Dragon and just leaves immediately and doesn't sink the rest of the time into these Meridia checks, then I think he's still in really good shape. If he starts clearing Meridia, then we know something's wrong. And he's made a mental mistake of some sort, probably, because... Or something that's, 2,000 IQ that we just haven't thought of that he's trying to think about.
Meantime, this is going to be a really long go, but we have a lot of dungeons still to do. Nothing in Spike
really
Cave.
Is.
Okay, so
it's neat that both runners have some very different dungeons to do as well.
Yeah, this I could see being the mushroom turn-in. And then we'll see what he does with his info. Yeah, this is the mushroom turn. He's not even going to bother with the fake powder, which is fine because we know that's nothing. So he probably does everything before Meridia. So there's your fire rod. Grab some potions. See if we're gonna refill his magic, grab another blue. I like this. Now we're looking at a Master Sword Silverless fight at this point for Ganon. So having those potions just for that, I think, makes a lot of sense. I think Maniacal is just going to start clearing pseudo go moding dungeons.
Doing something. I guess he's doing desert here.
Oh, yeah. So he wants to know if he needs boots.
This is another pretty on-path one. I wonder if he goes back in for the right side.
That's a good question.
That's kind of out of the way. I think he skips it here. I think that makes sense. If you're going to do this and you're going to clear all these dungeons, maybe in go mode, I don't feel like you can do that.
But the other interesting part about all this is,
it's fast Ganon.
It's fast Ganon. Yeah, I was about to say that. Like you go, you do your Death Mountain dungeons, and you never look back. Yeah,
I think if it wasn't fast Ganon, Duck's decisions here would make a lot more sense because you'd have to do that extra Death Mountain trip that you can maybe cut out by doing all these other things. But
you'd want to leave it to last, and just in case he forgot it was fast Ganon, the hole was sitting there in your face after he killed Aga. I mean, we're both runners in an interesting position in terms of what things they're going to check because, Duck not knowing the medallion of Turtle Rock, Maniacal not having gravity suit and having a pretty nasty bit of Meridia that he'll have to do if he doesn't find it. Again, hoping he at least finds high jump boots. High jump boots plus spring ball would make it basically free.
Yes. Yeah, I honestly either of those helps a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
Spring Ball
maybe
doesn't
Spring
do
Ball
my
doesn't do anything on its own. Now that
yeah.
I'm thinking
Spring Ball by
about it,
itself. Yeah,
I
I
guess
don't
that's
think the
not
Spring
good.
Ball jump works without the high jump boots.
Yeah, you're right.
But
The high
the
jump
high
boots
jump
do
boots
help
is
a lot
bigger.
though, even just to do more standard like RBO
Yeah.
style Dragon kill. Makes the grapple escape much easier as well. So yeah, and I guess Duck probably does Skull Woods here too. There is
The other thing of note is
still
there's
an
that
item
sword
on the
sitting there
bronze.
on Death Mountain that he still hasn't picked up.
Yeah, I mean with Hammer and 10 hearts, I think he's got. You don't worry about that for Mothula. The extra sword doesn't do a whole lot.
No, not for Moth. I would want it for
Like,
Cold Stare though.
yes, I very much agree. I'm getting some tough patterns to hit, and sword spins are a trap, in my opinion, because that happens. You tink on the spikes and drop your spin.
Okay, so interesting moment for Maniacal. Does he go back in to look at this item? So you got a map on Moth. There is an item sitting there under the bridge there.
I don't. I think that's too far. And that has to be an item, right? Was the big chest was either map or compass, I believe.
Yeah, there's one more item. Okay. Yeah, because because he dug he dug the whole dungeon that he could with that fire rod.
Right.
He still wants to look. He's hoping for a free gravity suit.
Or Duck dug the whole dungeon.
No, Duck hasn't touched Skullwoods, I don't think at all.
I got that backwards. My mistake. Okay.
Hey, we got Super Pack and another Super Pack. No, maybe I have it backwards. That might have been Duck that did it. That's a good question. It was so long ago.
Yeah, I thought that was Duck.
Okay, Duck gets his Master Sword, so he's gonna he'll do Hera,
He's got the book, he could check the tablet. He's gonna wait on Hera. He's okay.
I don't think it matters. You've got Mirror, you could do whatever order you want.
Yeah, this is gonna put him into TR before Hera, which I don't even know if we got both items, but whatever Maniacal found in there wasn't any good, so
I want to say he got an E-Tank. Yeah, there's nothing in Hera.
It wasn't a sword, it wasn't boots, which are the things that would help out in Turtle Rock a lot, so Duck won't be at a disadvantage doing TR first.
Yep.
And he'll find out that he's in go mode for sure.
Hey, look, Duck, you're in go mode.
A little bit more comfortable go mode than Maniacal, although he'll have the decision whether or not he wants to go out of his way for that blue mail on the floating island there.
I personally would go after it being blue mail, not red mail. I would pick it up, but Duck is a very accomplished NMG player. He probably doesn't need it.
The problem is this is very much not an NMG Ganon fight.
It really is.
So, like, the Master Sword Silverless is a very different skill set, and doing it without taking a lot of damage is very different than doing it with red mail and 18 hearts.
Oh, for sure.
So
for absolute sure.
It might be worth still just to pick it up for safety.
We'll see what he decides. I would have picked it up before Turtle Rock myself. I mean, there's a lot of things that do a lot of damage in this dungeon.
Yeah. And without boots is the other thing, too. Without boots, I feel like there's a lot more value in the mail upgrade.
We don't have boots. There's some really nice powder spots in Turtle Rock. We don't have powder. So Duck has no bottles filled. Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot, very many safeties. Meanwhile, Maniacal and Ice Palace. I don't know that he's gotten anything useful out of here yet. My guess is hey, powder. Powder's really nice. Yeah, that'll make his Turtle Rock a little bit better. And he can check Magic Bat too if he wants and get whatever the nothing was that Duck got. Oh, that's really nice. Tempered Sword. So yeah, Duck will get that Tempered Sword. I mean, if you're go moding Ice Palace, that's one chest you probably still pick up.
Oh yeah, unless you have absolutely everything. If you're missing speed, high jump, boots, sword, silvers, I could keep going. If you're missing all that, like, you're gonna want it.
Like this room right here that Maniacal's doing, I think Duck skips. But I think the only thing Maniacal skips is iced tea.
Interesting, Maniacal bombing out the floor, doing the
Yeah,
old-fashioned intended way to get here.
Yeah, not doing the hookshot clip.
Duck's got to be careful. No powder, no fake powder. He can't restore his health.
Yep.
I'd really like to see him use Fire Rod on the Pokey coming up.
Yeah,
instead
me
of
too.
trying to use Sword Spins. That's an option, but it's a lot riskier with Master Sword versus Tempered. It doesn't quite work the same. Of course, with the Fire Rod, you have to worry about the Ricochet. So Fire Rod and then move out of the way. You see Duck does exactly that.
Well done.
Oh no, the Bunny Beam! Oh, that's rough.
Okay, right after I said well done, too.
It unbunnied him right when he was planning on moving, because he knew, he was very aware of where those anti-fairies are moving.
Yep.
And was going to walk just past its trajectory and got stopped and unbunnied right then. I honestly thought about, like, I wonder if he opens the door. Like, it would have been a lot safer if he'd opened the door to the lava chest, but then he would have had to find another key.
Okay,
just because it would have reset
where are we
the
going
room.
next? I'm guessing he does Turtle Rock next, too. I guess the densest dungeon he has outside. I mean, honestly, could he? Let's see.
Well, he could do Wreck Ship into Mother Brain, and he could do Swamp into Meridia. I would think he'd put off Swamp because he would want to leave that to leave the Dragon fight for as long as possible with his loadout.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that. He's going to Swamp, it looks like. Maybe.
Things get a little bit more complicated with these boss tokens being spread out throughout. Because normally, what you'd want to do is you'd want to do everything. You would do.
Oh, he's just gonna go to Ganon. He's just going to Ganon. You could just save and quit.
He can do Ganon because
he could just save and quit right now from the Dark World and then just be at the pyramid. I guess he's doing Pyramid Fairy into Ganon.
Okay, yeah, he's got Tempered Sword.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I like this.
He can use the mirror to help get there faster as well. Hopefully he remembers that.
Yeah, but it used to be you would try and do everything you can do before you do Meridia, hoping to find either the gravity suit or, like we talked about, the high jump boots. Then if you get high jump boots, also Spring Ball. And of course, remembering that he's killed Aga, so he could do this quickly. E-Tank and Super Missile, so really nothing useful. All the E-Tank is going to do is make it harder for him to damage down to do the Crystal Flash strat.
It might let him do stand-up later, though, for Mother Brain.
It might. We do have the right.
He's probably pretty close to 7. Duck not even checking Laser Bridge. Okay.
Oh, for what?
Sword, boots, speed booster, high jump boots.
All nice things, but
they'd all be good. I don't know. I guess
I don't think I would do Laser Bridge.
He's probably aware of map and compass situations. There might be a map. Yeah, he doesn't have the map or the compass, and he's missing a key. So he could do Laser Bridge and find one item, and that would be a big waste of time. Might also be feeling bad with the death.
Maniacal using a potion. You got him. You can't take him with you. You might as well. You're not gonna need him in Swamp. You might. I mean, I could see using him in Turtle Rock, but you're not gonna need it in Swamp Palace, which is probably what he does next from here, I think. I'm going to see.
Duck's got to be careful. He did not take the safety door and is low on magic. I don't know how many hits this Firehead's got left, but not a lot.
I think he's got to finish it here. Uh-oh.
That's not it. He's got a Death War Premier.
Yeah, he doesn't have another shot. And he just saves and quits.
Yeah, that's the other advantage of the Laser Bridge. It lets you take that safety door with a little bit less of a time penalty.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
I kind of think back to when all those 300 rupees that the runners both skipped, and Duck in particular having very few rupees at the time when he turned in the mushroom. He looked like he wanted to buy a potion, but not in go mode, very, without a lot of money. Chose not to buy a potion. He's gonna go do that now.
Yeah, he did have one more opportunity before going up Death Mountain, in his potential go mode, to stop and buy potions, but
Maybe
might just be feeling behind with some of these. Probably Skullwoods first, since he knows he's in go mode. He can do TR later with another sword. He's got to climb the mountain at some point anyway.
I hope he does Ice Palace before Turtle Rock, because then he'll get that Tempered Sword, will make it better. He doesn't know that, of course. And I think that Tempered Sword was very on path. I can't see him missing it. Maniacal gonna go ahead and do Turtle Rock now.
I think Duck probably does do Ice Palace before that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Maybe even Tower of Hera, but that's less likely. I think this pretty solidly seems to give Maniacal the advantage. I think at this point, we still got that big question mark of how the Meridia Dragon's going to go, but I think just some of the low percent fights that are taking Duck a lot longer.
Yep.
The death in Turtle Rock, then the running out of magic in there. He just doesn't have all the safeties and just not quite being able to put everything together.
It is going to come up very much down to Maniacal executing on the Dragon fight. That's by no means free at all. It's a fight I know he can do. But knowing that someone can do it and them actually executing it are different things.
Yeah, I think even with one death or one failed flash suit or something like that, it's still less of a time loss than the TR repeat without boots, without having to do it on the way to GT. It's really punishing. That's a lot of time loss.
I like the way Duck started to walk down for that heart and then decided it was too far away.
I guess maybe he's worried about the timer on the torches. I don't know.
Very, very well, maybe.
That could be. He's probably got a decent rhythm for the timing on that. Understands how long they take. I'm sure just in general, but you do the room with boots normally, and you have tons of time, and then when you do it without boots in the randomizer, a little bit less used to it. It's how much time do I actually have? This is taking forever. I'm just walking this room.
It will be interesting to see if Maniacal does Laser Bridge.
I think that it's the correct. Well,
it's a better.
I think it's better for Maniacal.
For him, yeah. We do know that it could be just one item. I think that there's more good things. There are more good things out there for Maniacal than there are for Duck.
Yes,
including his mind gravity suit. We know it's not there, but he doesn't.
Yeah, and the fact that it's only one item is the thing that's stopping it from being valuable. If it was 2 or 3, I guess it might be, because the compass could be in the big chest, and the we don't know. Map could be the lava chest.
We'll see if he does how exactly he routes this entire dungeon, because
I guess that can't be true. One of those has to be a small key, doesn't it?
Yes, there has to be a small key somewhere.
Well, no, the small key could be Laser Bridge.
Could be Laser Bridge.
Yeah,
Maniacal with 3.5 hearts, but he's got powder and blue mail, so he's in much better shape than Duck was when he got to this point. And Duck is going to do Ice Palace next, and I think this is the right decision. And he's going to be very happy to pick up the sword that he's going to pick up.
He's probably going to be happy, but he might be a little bit frustrated too that
he didn't
it's exactly what he needed to make Trinex free to make the pokies easier to deal with, to not have to use Fire Rod and then set yourself up to take that death.
I want to say the powder was in one of the I think was in the big key chest. I don't think I saw it was in the Pen Gator room. He's gonna. You don't do the Pen Gator room when you're in go mode, but the big key chest is free. What's the chest in the spike room? That one's free. Those are the 2 really free ones in Ice Palace, even when you're in go mode. So
Duck? Okay. He meant to bombs like he
I
was
feel
doing
like,
the
yeah,
vanilla
like that
NMG. He's
We
like, what are
have
you doing?
Icebreaker allowed here. We can do that strat here.
Thought he was just
I do like
gonna
to
show
see
off.
the occasional Ice Palace bomb jump. It's still a really valuable strat in Rando. Because you do not want to be doing Ice Palace the developer intended way. Ever. Oh, this was... Okay, where was the powder?
It was...
It was in the next room. Yeah, he's not getting powder here.
He's turned before those stairs.
Yeah, I want to say powder
I think
was
it was in
here.
here.
Yeah.
The H room.
Because he's just going to grab this key. So he's not getting powder. I mean, he doesn't need powder. It makes Turtle Rock a little bit better, but like the sword is a much bigger deal. He's not missing the sword.
The sword is the big thing. I think that's like that's one of the biggest safeties. People talk about, you know, like mail upgrades and hearts and potions and stuff. It's when you're as familiar with the vanilla game and just understanding the mechanics in general, like the best defense is a good offense.
Yep. Yeah, having the fight go less time is to your benefit. Meantime, Maniacal is basically full clearing. Oh, not complete. He did check Mimic Cave, but did not check Lava Chest. That's kind of interesting. I
like
did not
that.
see what was in Mimic Cave, but
because if that's a key, you can skip Laser Bridge potentially. Although he probably doesn't want to skip Laser Bridge, and it just guarantees that he's not going to get burned on that 3-4% chance, whatever it is, of getting the really bad key layout, where you have to double back and check that anyway. But, but yeah, just the compass. So there are 2 items on Laser Bridge, or potentially 3. If it's small key and 3 items, and then the map is in the big key chest, that's an option here still. A little cold stare party on Duck's side. He's got 5 hearts, so he's not in too much trouble.
If he takes one more hit, he's going to want to use that
Now
potion.
he's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, use the potion, please. And let's get some fire rod shots out.
At this point, you just...
Okay, no, he's fine.
A couple slashes away, yeah. It's no longer necessary.
Also, laser skips suck without boots. Oh, there's that spring ball.
Okay.
Can we get a high jump boost, too? Not there.
The less good boomerang.
The best boomerang is a hook shot.
That is true. All right, well that's our key right there.
Well, if the key is not in lava.
Well, then it's either the key or the... I guess the boss could have the map, couldn't it?
Yeah.
There might be a map on Trinix. We didn't see the Trinix item. I forgot.
No, we didn't.
That's still at large. So, yeah, that could have been the key. Could have been the map. Could have been the item.
I like the muscle memory and grabbing that arrow drop that does him absolutely no good for the rest of the game. Cause
yeah, he's only got 40 arrows. He needs more. And Duck is going up to Hera first. Maybe just not feeling confident about some of his execution, getting a little bit frustrated maybe at the...
I don't think it matters which one you do first.
It's like a little bit slower just with the extra back and forth with the mirror portals to go this way, but if there's something on path that's good in Hera, obviously it's going to save you time. And
I mean, there's not a whole lot that can even be on path at this point because he's just going to Hera pod up.
He's not even checking the chest here in the lobby. That's okay.
Yeah.
I would at least have expected him to check
one,
that.
Yeah.
That heart's going to be in the way, potentially. That might mess up his Hera pod,
It looks like he's trying to do the new setup, but you got to back into the...
No, that's an
the new
existing
setup. That's one of the old ones.
Around, yeah. All right, so Maniacal's just got
Swamp and Meridia. Oh, this is Wreck Ship.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe not super confident with that.
I think
jumpless Meridia.
I think he wants to do Wreck Ship first in case there's something there. And then he's not going
to clear all of it. He's just going to clear the basement items. He might do Ocean. He'll do
I don't see him
missiles,
I don't
left
think he's
and right
getting
supers, and that's it. Yeah,
It's a
there's no
shame
way.
because I think the amount of time it would take to get a gravity suit would be worth, but he doesn't know it's there, so
Close.
you're
If he
risking
knew,
a ton of yeah. If he knew it was there, you just go get it. But
yeah,
that would be that would be a different tournament, co-op
yeah.
or spoiler log.
I think even where it is, because you have to check everything else on your way there, it might not be worth the time.
Yeah.
Just to pop in the back door, Dragon, and then come back out. But I was kind of
Maybe.
expecting Maniacal to do this on the way to Other Brain. Unfortunately, since he's got 2 other SM boss tokens left, those were crystals he could have done.
Yep.
Wreck ship into Mother Brain and then go clear up the crystals. Then, of course, he wouldn't have been able to do Ganon. So.
Yep. We sometimes talk about SMZ3 being completely different for 2 different runners, and I think we're kind of seeing this. Apathyduck has had that cavity suit for so long, and Maniacal's like, where is it? Am I gonna have to do this awful Dragon fight? Unfortunately, there's no more new locations for him to check, so I don't think he's getting high jump boots.
And nothing on path. I guess Botwoon E-Tank?
That's
the closest thing. Because Duck did not check that. That's not very far out of the way. I would probably check that before going up to Coliseum, but...
I don't know. You've got...
Like, because that could be gravity, that could be high jump,
it
that
can
could be...
but it's bootless, suitless,
that could be
essentially.
speed.
So you're having to use your ice beam to freeze the bugs, to use your... to jump up there, or do a spring ball jump. Like, yeah, I mean, either one gets you up there, but it's kind of sucky. We'll see if he chooses to check.
It's definitely reasonable to skip it, that's for sure. But I do think that's on path enough that I wouldn't be surprised. Unlike just about every other location that are all too far out of the way, for sure.
We don't know, and that actually would be a location we haven't seen at all. Duck went into Meridian left. I'm not even sure he checked precious missiles, to be honest.
He did. It was the book.
Oh, that's right.
And then he didn't check the tablets.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't.
He hasn't really had a reason to. I mean, he could have maybe checked Ether, but that's kind of slow still. The animation takes a long time.
He should have checked Ether, to be fair, but Bombos is way out of the way. You're not checking that. And by should have, I mean the first time he was up in the area.
Oh, Maniacal not even checking right supers, just the left side.
Yeah, I think this is all he's checking.
Unless he does it after. Okay.
He's hoping for the fast thing to have something, and then doesn't have to do the slower thing. They typically do this side first because you've already laid the power bomb and already bombed out the blocks. Okay, a little surprised he grabbed the E-Tank.
Yeah, so there's a certain number of E-Tanks that if you're doing the flash suit Dragon, you want enough E-Tanks that you're still refilling health when your animation gets interrupted, so that you're getting as much back as possible, so the rest of the fight is safer in case anything goes wrong. And so like that would be helpful for that. But at this point, he's got enough that there's no way they're going to refill before it gets interrupted. So I don't see it having value. Like I know I've had situations where if you have like 4 or 5 E-Tanks, you get the flash suit, and then you're still risking your health. Especially if you don't have a good way to kill Dragon. It gives him more attempts at the grapple escape too, potentially. I guess if he.
So let's see.
Duck is still having trouble with this magic in this fight. I'm not sure. He's got to be frustrated.
Before, right?
Yeah,
he's got a potion this time though.
Does he have another one?
He did. Yeah. Did he use it already?
He used the one in ice. I don't know if he had 2.
Oh, he did use the one ice. I don't think he did have 2. But yeah, I mean, he's got just this dungeon left. He's got to do both boss fights. Maniacal has to go do Swamp. Has to go do Meridia, and it's gonna be a pretty awful Meridia for him. Taking a moment.
Yeah, just to recompose himself.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart play in this scenario.
Absolutely. Yeah, he does have Ice Palace, right?
It'd be nice if he was able. I think, like, from his perspective, it'd be really nice if he was able to just do Mother Brain, because
Yeah.
his SM execution has been really good. He hasn't really had any issues all night in Super Metroid, and I think whatever factor it is it's causing him a little bit of trouble in Link to the Past. That's kind of a nice thing about this game sometimes, is you can just like step away from one game into the other if you're having some sort of issue or struggling with something in particular, but doesn't have any SM left to do except for Mother Brain, which he can't do yet.
Can't do, yeah. He could go kill Ganon.
Yes, he does. He did clear Ice Palace. That's right. So he could go kill Ganon.
And so Maniacal probably gonna check everything but left side here. I could see skipping, like the compass chest, the whatever the first chest is. Is that the map chest, the very first one? Not the very first one. The first one's the
one behind the
bomb
wall here. Yeah. That's the map chest.
Like, I could see skipping those, but it looks like he's gonna go for them. Duck,
Map
meanwhile,
chest is definitely faster than compass chest.
Oh, for sure, especially without boots.
Yeah.
Nice refill.
And it's just the compass chest is what, 3 door transitions instead of 1.
Yep.
Aren't quite as slow as SM door transitions unless it's like a spiral staircase, but they're still not super speedy.
I mean, we know he's not going to get anything out of this. Okay, Duck, Brown 3. You know, Duck, you could consider getting the blue mail. That would be, of course, it's been magic. Too. Yeah, he has been having more magic issues though than health issues, but yeah, that wouldn't be a terrible idea for him.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if that last one, like, it almost looked intentional of a death, like, because his magic was questionable, and I wasn't sure if he had enough left, and I was thinking there's a chance that was an intentional death just to reset.
Yeah, it's kind of what it felt like to me too, but I'm not sure. Yeah, everywhere Maniacal goes, he's wanting he's wanting high jump boots or gravity suit, and it's just not gonna happen. Of course, Maniacal doing the more traditional diver down setup. Yeah, I call the other one the speedrun version, but of course it's not in NMG because we don't do diver down in NMG. It's used in some of the more glitchy runs, most notably in the all dungeons RMG run. Restricted major glitches.
We'll get pretty close to simultaneous boss fights coming up here.
Yep.
Potentially. I guess Maniacal might be finished with this. They've still got a couple of rooms to go, but should be fairly synced up.
Nice to have Tempered Sword in this fight.
Oh yeah, big difference over that fighter sword the Duck used.
Very nice.
Set up that spin as well. Yeah, really nice phase 2.
Yep, there is one item I left in Swamp. We're not getting it. It's actually it's the worst layout for the one item left because you could end up having to go back to the left side, get a big key, and find your item in the big chest.
Duck should be okay now. After the magic usage,
yeah.
has enough health to take a hit in case something were to go wrong here, but he's going to play it safe. Bounce off to the right side. Actually, was less safe than I thought. He barely missed that, but still a little bit offset to the right, so he didn't get trampled. And then can clean up the other slash. Very nice to not get too in your own head and just, you know, sometimes it's easy to do that. You make a mistake, and then you just think about it too much, and then you either overcompensate or you're thinking about the mistake, so you just do it again. The exact same thing you were thinking about not doing.
Okay, Ganon fight for Duck, and Maniacal gonna go into Dragon. I would call Duck a little bit ahead here.
I think so, yeah.
He's just got the bosses done, and this even with you know, Maniacal having already done Ganon, this is gonna be slow. Of course, if Duck dies to
cape
Ganon...
lag. It's the cape lag. He equipped it, and you know he's mashing the button to use it, but you have to wait a certain amount of time after equipping the cape before it lets you use it, unlike every other item in the game. For some reason...
I mean, I'm not used to seeing Duck even using a cape.
He took that hit, and he's figuring probably just, you know, I gotta play it safe. I gotta not take the death. I have a blue potion, but use the cape first because it's a waste of your potion to do that. So.
Yep. You want to use your potion for both your magic and your health, absolutely.
Honestly, like, and that death that's probably, you could attribute that to not having the boots. I'm pretty sure Duck does like the dash strats for Ganon. You get inside the bat ring and you dash into him, but he took an extra slash instead because he doesn't have boots, and then got hit by the bats and things went a little bit wrong.
Oh no, Maniacal.
Okay.
Okay, we're good now. You need to spin jump, please.
Yeah, he keeps not spin jumping, but I guess it works.
Silver arrow somewhere in the light world. We'll never know where. Yeah, falling there is actually kind of bad. Can do a kind of a gravity jump to get back up. Not gravity jump, a grapple jump to get back up. Okay, we're gonna get back up. There you go.
Just use that space jump.
Yeah, this room is always a little bit weird because with the way the waterfalls work, if you're already space jumping through them, you're fine. Okay, we're gonna take the save because a lot of things can go wrong here.
That is a very smart decision. And if something goes wrong early in the fight, it's not really a huge time loss. But if something goes wrong and you didn't save, it takes so long to get back here that it's really just your best interest to take that save.
Okay, Duck done with, definitely a clear lead now because Maniacal has to do all this Meridius stuff.
Yeah, we got both Ganons defeated. Nice and early. That does seem to happen a lot more on these fast Ganons. Makes sense. Pyramid's accessible early. It ends up being a little bit more valuable to do Ganon early before potentially dungeons.
And Maniacal's still not seeing the item he wants. Just though, God, you know, would love to know where those high jump boots are.
So Maniacal damage down low enough that he can still take a turret shot. He's probably going to do that on purpose here. Maybe not. Okay.
It's just going to damage.
That would have been the faster way. Yeah, he's still with no suits on. He can damage down. He needs to do a spin jump away from the turret though, because no high jump boots means that he cannot reach it otherwise. If you spin jump off that platform and then angle up.
It only needs a little bit more damage there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
As long as he doesn't get hit by the ray gun. Okay.
Oh, there's
this is a bad spot though, because the goo isn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't really want it there. He's gonna have to wait for another goop pattern. Alright, now he's in good shape. It's okay to use a couple of these power bombs, even if you don't know if it's a goop or not. That's a good one. Nice, good health. And then the hardest part probably without high jump is just getting the timing on the grapple shot.
Yep.
You know, we got Duck entering the
turn your
Metroid
various,
rooms.
yes, please turn your various suit back on.
Oh, he's just gonna take the blue or the. Hold on, which one? The flash suit. I always get the names of these suits mixed up. It's.
That's not gonna work.
Uh,
Oh, he's gonna X-ray climb.
oh yeah, you can X-ray climb. Duh.
Okay.
I was like, what's he thinking? He's got spring
Yeah.
ball, but
Okay.
that's not
Yeah.
enough.
I think
Okay.
he's more comfortable with the X-ray
Okay.
climb than
You
he
know,
is
that
with
makes
the
sense.
RBO strats. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, for a long time when he ran RBO, he was doing the getting X-ray
I have
specifically
seen
for
him
this.
do that. It's been a long time, but he did RBO in it was like a multi-category tournament or something that
Yep, he did.
I
Yeah.
saw him do this, and it was cool. Made me want to learn RBO, actually. And then I never learned the X-ray climb for quite a while after, because it seemed kind of bad. But yeah, this does make sense. This is a lot safer, of course. It's slower, but like you can just keep trying it as many times as you need. There's no real failure point as long as you don't get stuck in morph somewhere up in the wall.
Yeah, well, and the key is you turn your morph ball off, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, if you really want to take it safe. No baby skip from Duck. That's quite all right. That might be right. That looks like a good position. It was too high earlier. That looks slow enough.
Yeah, it turns off the morph ball.
Positions. Yeah, that's a good spot. So
yeah, this will work.
Once you get in a rhythm, it's sometimes easier to speed up a little bit.
I'm gonna do the morph strat here.
Very nice.
Showing that you can do it without spring ball, because he never got spring ball.
Pretty comfy. Mother Brain. We'll see if Duck goes for stand up. Doesn't save a ton of time, but you never know. The race could be really close as far as he's aware. You know, if Maniacal's breathing down his neck, this few seconds could save a lot.
I mean, this has been a very close race throughout. It's the Duck having the gravity suit and just being able to do Meridia that much quicker. The other big thing, it was kind of at the same time. No, it wasn't quite at the same time. But Duck getting the Morphball a little bit sooner, getting into SM a little bit sooner. Maniacal taking that trip into Pod, which was empty, and then the fact that it turned out there was something in Wreck Ship, because he was in Wreck Ship, and we're like, okay, this is going to be a time loss because there's nothing here. And then at the very end, Gravity decided to show up.
Yeah, for sure. I think Duck saved some time too with the way he routed Upper Norfair. Ended up working out really well for him too. By going LN first, both of them ended up checking all the same things down there. Duck did that nice and early, and then got
because Maniacal did it from the back door, which is great. But having that gravity suit, he was just able to do all of Warfare at once, and was able to do it very efficiently.
Yeah, it's always just marginally faster. Oh, did he get stuck?
I think he got something went wrong because he definitely reset.
I thought he was like at the exit there. I see. I'm familiar with the X-ray climb enough to know how it works, but not really where the points of failure are. So I wasn't able to recognize that wasn't good. It's too bad. He made a lot of progress.
Yeah.
You have to move. It's either 2 or 3 laps up the screen. Basically, you wrap around multiple times, and I can't remember if that one's 2 or 3 laps, and then you're there. You can kind of track on the mini map actually where Samus's position is, even though the camera's broken.
Yeah, that's what I like to do when I'm watching these. I don't X-ray climb myself, but when I'm watching someone do it, that's the thing to look for. I really, I really like to look at that mini map for a lot of things. I remember back to this duck I was commentating with, where he said, "I've never looked at the mini map."
I
You
forget it
know,
exists.
but every once in a while it'll tell you something. Like in particular, I remember one race I was doing with where I skipped the high jump boots items because you check the one item without morph ball, and then the other two are just hanging out there. And I saw it on my mini map, like whoops. Meanwhile, duck in the escape.
Yeah, he did obviously opt to go for that stand up. Another brain, nicely done there. With exactly 70 tanks. So good to not take the extra damage to put him below 7 and not be able to do it.
We're bonking that door. You don't see that. Well, we don't have speed boosters, so it really doesn't matter. All the nice things for SM, just not in this seed.
You say that.
No
We've got
boots.
full beam combo and
That's
screw
true.
attack. Give me that over speed and no high jump seeds any day.
Fair enough.
Because those are the ones I don't want.
Alright, and then Duck is going to finish up with an official race time of 2:20.49. GG's to Duck. And Maniacal is going to throw in the title shortly thereafter. You can see the look on his face, seeing the result there.
Yeah, GG's to both runners. Definitely an interesting race, and that's a really good time. I mean,
yeah, it is.
When you think about, obviously, like, we're still a little bit new to fast scan, and I think all of us in general, some of the new features that saves 5 to 10 minutes maybe, but even considering that, like, that's still an incredibly good time. And that's no boots either.
No boots, no speed, no high jump. Game just didn't want to give us some of the nice things. And joining us is our winner, apathyduck. GG's. Just, I mean, okay, so yeah, Trinex was an issue. Did you think about grabbing that blue mail at any point?
If I was gonna get it after Trinex, for Ganon at that point, but like the second time I had tempered, so I was like, it shouldn't have been a thing. So
sure.
Just like, yeah.
Well, Maniacal had his own issues. GG's Maniacal.
Hey, thanks, GG Duck.
I'm sure by now you know we have no idea where high jump boots were. I know that was the thing we were hoping you would find. Like, you found the spring ball, like, okay, now he just needs high jump boots. We knew you weren't getting gravity. I assume by now you know where that was.
I was told where it was, yeah.
Good old French vanilla.
Yep. It was kind of funny because at the moment that you were about to, you had the decision to make, do I go into wreck ship or do I go down? And maybe you were never planning on going into wreck ship because at the time all you had was CWJ or horizontal bomb jump.
If I had the CWJ frame, I was going to do it. Okay. I just let that be the coin flip. I didn't have the right frame, so I left it.
Yeah, we were thinking that might be the case.
Yeah, like, it wasn't bad, and then Space Jump was right behind, and I was like, well, I can go back whenever, but then I hit go mode before that, so I just didn't do it.
The funny thing about Space Jump is, if the reason I did Brinstar early, and like I'm known for not doing that, is like, now that I've learned how to do the X-ray deboost, I was like, well, I don't have the health for it, but I've got screw attack and 10 power bombs already, so let me do this. If you had literally just like came in and told me like, oh, Space Jump is in Red Tower, I would have gone down first, and then I full clear Meridia and stuff before, because I would go down, I would do wreck ship soon, then I would just completely skip out. I would do like full clear meridian and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny that like the one time I do British Star early, it works out for me.
I'm trying to think of what even was. I mean, the bow was there, but
Varia.
that was
Varia.
Varia. That was the big thing, right? Yeah.
Varia and
Yeah,
Ice
those were the-
Rod was there.
Did
too.
I?
Ice
Like
Rod
every
was over it,
every beam was over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left with
I
full
was
beam.
like-
I was like, oh,
I think
cool.
he got like at one point it was plasma,
plasma, then ice, then wave,
and
back
ice
to back
and
to back.
wave, all in a row.
That's
Yeah.
that's like one of the 2 non-required items I'll actually kill Bomb Chorizo for.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't want to
Yeah.
do this, but wave beam, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, especially like you shoot him and he's dead after that. So like,
Also that part.
yeah, like
Oh, yeah, it was Bomb Chorizo. Now that you have to do the fight, you have to actually be a little more picky about the item.
I can't keep track. Like playing SM, or like
Yeah.
when Bomb Chorizo turns on, when he doesn't. Like I can't keep track.
It's so dumb that there's
There's
all
8
these different
different-
settings across like all these different random. Like, just please make a choice.
Yeah, someone pick one and just stick with it. Like,
Yeah. So with the moment that Maniacal, you were making the decision, was at that point we're like, okay, looks like Wreck Ship has nothing, and Duck had 2 more checks on the table. And that's when he found Gravity Suit.
Oh,
He was like, oh,
I'm
wait,
surprised-
there's
I'm
Gravity
surprised
Suit.
that was that far behind early.
Yeah, the pod
the
play
pod
set you
play.
back quite a bit, and Duck basically just went from Hype Cave. Like you guys were on pretty much the same path
Yep.
What?
for the most part.
What put me behind quite a bit? Sorry.
The pod dip. Because Duck just
yeah.
save and quit out of Hype Cave and then went straight to the shovel to grab his morph. So
Okay, yeah.
he was an entire front
Okay,
of
so
pod
that's
at that
that's
point.
why I was okay.
I assume
That
Maniacal
makes
was
more
way ahead of
sense.
me, and because of the Aka Tower death, I assume he was way ahead of me up until pod.
He was ahead of. Actually, that evened it out quite a bit.
Yeah, because
Duck, you made a couple of skips.
Saha.
Yeah, I did Sash. I did fake flipper stuff early, just
Yep.
looking for like, hey, can I find a sword or something?
Yeah.
And then
Wait, you fake
used-
flippered?
You mean
I
actually
fake flippered because I had the pearl and I had the bottle, so I wanted to use the waterfall fairy to get magic, so I could use Bombos and Aga Tower.
Wasn't flippers and
I think
Mini
you just
Moldworm?
flippered. I don't think you fake flippered.
I flippered. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm
whatever.
like, bro, how did you fake flipper without doing mini Moldorm? I'm just so confused.
I was out of bombs, man. Like, I just
I know.
don't
I thought
remember
maybe. I was
shit,
like,
dude.
what happened? But there was the bombs were in the bush grab. Like it's there's
So-
no way
so-
to get a bomb.
Duck, there was this point where we're sitting there thinking that you might have been in go mode, and it turned out you were, but you wouldn't check the Turtle Rock medallion.
Well, I know. So okay, like it was like this is a pretty rare situation. I was 2 knowledge bits away, right? Usually you're 1,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
medallion or something. So I need to do both desert and I need to do Turtle Rock.
Okay.
Desert, I'm much like in the desert area, the only thing I'm really going to leave behind is like maybe a desert check and then like checkerboard cave. If I do Turtle Rock first, I even fluted there first because I got confused. But if I do Turtle Rock first, like am I going to go mode Hera? Am I going to go mode Turtle Rock?
enough.
Am I like there's just way too much stuff up there. So like you have to do desert first in that situation.
So did Maniacal ever tell you what was sitting on Lumberjack that made that check even more interesting?
Was it boots?
No.
No, we didn't talk
That-
about
that
it.
can't
Can't
happen.
be. Not unless we
No, I
start
know.
playing beatable only. No. The Ether medallion was on the Lumberjack.
Oh wow.
So, yeah,
Did you
that
find
could have been
Ruben?
interesting.
So so we're sitting there going, okay, we're either in no mode or either Ducks in go mode, in which case, because it'd be Bombos, or we're looking for Quake, or we're specifically looking for Boots to get Ether. And then
Yeah.
it ended up being an Aga seed anyway, but it was Aga for Dark World.
Well, I mean, the way I play, if it was Ether, the second I get boots, I get that because I do
Oh,
the
yeah,
two,
for sure.
I do the 2. So like that wasn't.
Sure.
Yeah, I even mentioned that on comms.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about how
But this is
you
one of the
didn't know,
reasons
but
why,
I know
because
why.
it's like that additional knowledge. I don't think actually it's very rare. It actually it like only helps you. This is actually a seed where it could help you, because if you saw like let's say you saw like a glove up there or something, right? The other glove. You know to rush Aga Tower. You don't go
Yeah.
like, well, maybe I should put it off. But this one, like, I've never seen a seed just tell you to do Aga Tower more. There was a glove in Dark World.
SMZ3, oh yeah.
There was a glove in Dark World, and like
Yep.
in a row, I got Moon Pearl, Sword, Cape, Lamp,
Mhm.
Flippers, and Hookshot. I'm like,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Yeah.
And then the funny thing about
And
the
then it was like
seed-
screw attack. I'm like, okay, very funny. Like,
I know, right? So the funny thing about the seed to me was you had West Dark World, which got you exactly shovel for Morph Ball.
yeah.
And then you had Lower Norfair that got you exactly mushroom for Fire Rod.
Well, and you got the hammer on the way, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, the hammer is in Cathedral, but yeah.
Yeah,
Lower
but,
Norfair in particular had mushroom.
And then what was flute? Like,
Flute was
It
Red
was
Tower.
Red Tower,
Red
Oh,
Tower.
Red Tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
right behind the
See, that's
station.
what, like, I was actually going back and forth after I found both suits, and originally I was like, okay, I'll do Meridia, and then finding the flute actually is what made me like originally when I found Vari, I'm like, okay, I was planning on doing a high jumpless down to Lower Norfair at that point because I had so much amp, and then I had full beam, so I was like, okay, whatever. And then I found Grav. I'm like, okay, well, I'll do Meridia because like maybe I want to put off, maybe like I have to do a lava dive for like Desert Axis or something, or God forbid, Pendant Mire. And then I found Flute. I'm like, okay, well, I have Flute, so now I can just because I know I'll be able to come back unless the glove or the mirror is in a really weird spot.
Yep.
So like, like when I was doing those early SM clears, I was going back and forth, and yeah, the funny thing about Pot, so like if Shovel was or Hype Cave and Shovel was nothing, like that whole Dark World was empty. I wasn't gonna go to Pot. I was gonna go to like Eastern, and I was gonna do the screw attack because at that point I was gonna assume, okay, the thing I was missing was mirror for the glove for like Death Mountain or something.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So like Pod was never on my radar. So
I thought Pod was going to spit out mirror, to be honest.
yeah, I mean we had the same thought, but we just kind of sort of assumed it was in different spots.
Like I thought that was the most likely thing.
Well, and
Yeah.
then Pod was completely not bow locked, so
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, of course,
When
it
I
was
saw it was not bow
completely dead.
locked, I thought, okay, there may very well be something here.
Yeah,
I
there was
don't-
not though. But with Lamp there and with it not bow locking in the front, it seemed like a good candidate, honestly.
Yeah, it definitely made sense
Oh, for
from
sure.
our perspectives, to see that. Like the shovels a one-off, Pod's got a lot of items. Obviously
Yep.
the shovels, you want to continue pushing that chain that you followed, but also hitting all the items makes sense.
It was kind of one of those things where had there been something in Pod, it would have been a while before Duck got back there. Whereas Maniacal, you were just going to check Shovel. Like that was...
I probably would have done. I would have done screw attack, and then I would have come over to Pod and Sasha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like I said, I just the thought going through my head was if this isn't it, then what happened is I missed mirror. So I'd go grab some other stuff. I wasn't really thinking Pod at all. So actually, like when I was playing the seed back, especially after like I did the early Aga Tower play, that worked out, but I had the death in there, and then like from there, like the Aga Tower play worked off, and like you would normally feel good, but just that one death, and I'm playing someone as strong as Maniacal, I'm already like, okay, well, I'm behind, and like the seed felt relatively straightforward. I actually forgot about Gravin because I was thinking like when I was in Goma, I'm like, okay, literally the only things I did that weren't necessary was Wreck Ship and Croc, which isn't too bad.
I mean, I don't see how someone rational dodges Croc in this seed with Kane where it was.
Yeah, there's no reason. There's no
like
reason. Especially
just
full
do
beam.
I was just
Full beam is
assuming that
basically-
everyone's doing Croc. I was viewing Pod as really the only extraneous thing that I did.
Yeah.
But I just was not comfortable with the go mode that the seed gave.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like if just high jump had shown up,
Yeah,
you would have been so much better off.
I was looking for gravity or high jump. Really would have been nice.
So I actually did consider it. Like it went through my mind to skip Croc and just go grab the cane, just because like I got Hammer out of Lower Norfair or out of Norfair. I still had.
Yeah, but like you got full beam, and it's not that slow.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's
why
not
I
that
ended up
bad,
doing
yeah.
it, and plus everything was going my way at that point, so I figured like.
You're full.
But like I did
plus
consider
space
it. I
jump.
think I don't think it's that crazy to skip it, but it's.
I don't think
especially in the semifinals, like when we're playing, each other, like you got to go for it, like.
Yeah, which that's sort of what ended up happening to me. Is I was like, well, I guess I like have to just go do this Meridia, and I didn't pull the trigger on it early enough because honestly, like some of the mechanics, I'm just not like I haven't done in. I don't think I've done a Crystal Flash Dragon fight in over a year, honestly, because like I just haven't been doing a lot of SMZ3 and it hasn't come up a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it off way longer than I should have, and then I don't know how my X-ray climb failed there, honestly. But I think it would have been close, but I think I was behind if I get out the first time. Probably behind by
you were
like
so
a
behind at
minute
that point.
or more like 3 minutes, I think, probably.
That's
At least. If I just get out cleanly and don't spend a minute and a half trying to get into the door even. Like if it just goes smoothly.
Mhm.
But then I don't know what happened with that X-ray climb, like why it didn't let me jump out and scroll the camera. I don't know if you caught what happened there.
I didn't catch it.
I wasn't sure.
I
I'm
don't,
not.
and I don't understand X-ray climb well enough to really be the person to say what went wrong. So you'll have
Because
to
I
watch
was
it back.
at the top of the room and I heard the water lapping sound that you hear like when you get high enough in the climb and you can jump out of the wall. And I jumped and it just crouch locked me. And I was like, what happened?
You must have been
maybe
just too low.
one pixel too soon. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think
I'm
of.
guessing
I've seen that happen.
I'm guessing it has to do with high jumpless jump properties as opposed to high jump properties.
Oh yeah, that could be too.
And that you need to probably X-ray climb like 2 or 3 extra times after starting to hear the water. But I thought I climbed 1 extra time.
I just climb until I'm like even with the door, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to. I have a visual cue on the door. Because you can even be offset a little bit on the higher side of the door as long as it's not by.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know how high is too high, but you can be a little bit above, even with the door on the top, and it still works. But I'm not. I wasn't sure either, and I wish I knew to explain it, but.
Yeah, I mean, it ultimately doesn't matter in the sense of this race. I messed it up, and it is what it is.
Either way, a really good showing in this tournament for both of you. Duck, new finalist for SMZ3. Of course, now you get to face Aussie. I mean, not much to say about that. We know that's going to be a tough one, but he can lose. He did lose this tournament. So you'll have your work cut out, but it's definitely not an impossible task. Didn't you get him in like a group?
I got him twice last year. I beat him by 11 minutes the first time and lost him 30 seconds in the semifinals. So
this is game 3. You're due, right?
Yeah. It's the rubber match.
And
although we had like an unofficial rubber match in our restream, he beat me by like 30 minutes or something. So like, we don't talk about that. That was in the
of course, all 4 of us are going to be at SGLIVE, so that's going to be a lot of fun. For the in-person, we're gonna get where we could get a new champion. We got Andy and Solsky have both won tournaments before that'll be there, but I figure one of you 3 that are in this voice call right now have every possibility of winning one at the in-person event.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll need to play substantially better than I played today.
Same.
Yeah, dying to try next a couple times.
This is why I don't have a camera on.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, there was I hit my desk for the second. The reason I was just like standing there and reset is because like I pulled the video out of my monitor or something. And I was scrambling to fix it.
Oh no!
I was wondering because I saw the reset. I thought maybe it was just like you were frustrated and you just smashed the reset button because you knew you like had died or didn't have enough magic.
It was
or
a little of
like,
everything. Yeah.
It
clearly
seemed like you were flustered, which is obviously understandable. That's
uncharacteristic
play from you.
Like the seed, like I forgot about gravity where it was after everything that happened. So like, in my mind, the scene was really straightforward. Maniacal was really good, and like, so like I'm just like, okay, well I lost, and like.
Well, I felt like the seed was straightforward. I felt like I was playing well, and then you told me everything that went wrong for you, and I was like, how did I lose by a billion minutes? I must have played a lot worse than I felt like I did, because I felt like I moved okay.
I think it's the way SMZ3 goes. It's you miss one thing and you lose a half hour. Like you missed
you lost time to pod. You lost time. A little bit of time doing Saha. That was pretty minor.
But that's not 8 minutes.
No, but the other place you lose time is when Duck just did all of Norfair. He just did it a little more efficiently because he could just go into lower Norfair with the gravity suit and the space jump and really easily, whereas you had to go more roundabout, had to go get the mirror, get the mitts, go through the back door. It just wasn't quite as clean a route, I think,
And
in
like,
the end.
to be fair, like I wasn't just playing terribly the entire time. Like my SM I thought was good.
Your SM
And,
was
like,
very
Yeah,
good.
that's what I said when you reset to SM. I was like, maybe he's like trying to beat
are-
Mother Brain. Like he
Maybe.
wants to play SM because
Yeah,
his SM's
I
been
am an
really
SM
good and
main
his
after all.
Zelda's been a little
We're
shaky.
turning you into an SM main. You know, forget this
Yeah.
Link to the Past stuff. You know.
So it's not like I was just playing with my face the entire time. Like it was. It was
That's
honestly
how you
just,
described it.
Just the Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the Turtle Rock was.
Well, and like honestly,
And
like the
maybe the
deaths
game
were
fight.
like all BS. Like the first one, it was like I hook shot the enemy and I was just like a pixel too high and hit the thing, so I died. The debunnying right where I was, and I got hit and I died.
That was pretty.
And then like Trinex was just not cooperating at all, and like. Again,
Is it like
consider
Fire Sword Trinex or something? You didn't get the Master
he was
Sword?
on
or-
Master
The first
Sword.
one was Master Sword, the
Okay.
second one was Tempered. I died once on each.
Okay.
Well, the second one I didn't die, I
I would
ran out
say
of
one of them
magic.
he ran out of magic.
Yeah. I mean, the first one I
Mhm.
basically ran out of magic too because, no, both of them actually ran out of magic. I didn't actually die. I don't think I either one.
That's true. That's right.
And maybe I did die in the first one because it was like I was out of magic and I had to go for the hit. So I forget if I died or not, but it was like...
Yeah, that might have been.
No, because that's right. That's right. Because like I didn't know what to do and I like hit save. So yeah, I just ran out of magic on both of them. That's what happened.
Yeah. I just bought like a couple blues at some point when I was turning in the mushroom.
Yeah,
that was another funny moment for you, Duck. Whereas, I mean, you both left a bunch of 300s in SM that basically would have been free. Especially there was one I think at like somewhere in Bubble Mountain area.
I think there was one like at Speed or at Wave where I was like on
There was that Wave,
side
and I
of
was
it
like,
and
I
turning
should've
around.
gone
Now
with
Maniacal,
I
because
did
you
the same
had gone
thing.
into pod and had gotten all the rupees in the pods gotten all the pod rupees, it wasn't that big a deal. But Duck, it looked like you were about to buy a potion when you picked up the fire rod and then thought better of it because you didn't have that much money because you might have to use that for Zoro pod or whatever.
There was I got a 300 at some point, and
it was after that,
right after that, and like I literally just said out loud, like never punished, like because I knew like I did the crate, like I did the crate one, I was like I'll have time to get another one, and then like the wave one, I was like I probably should pick that up. Like I don't think I picked
but both of them, I was like, man, I wish I'd not chosen to think about getting this because I do still need rupees possibly, and
then I was thinking like I'm gonna get
a free one.
They are going to be so mean to me if I Houlihan now. Like, so I'm like, I can't do that because that'll just be embarrassing.
Yeah.
But like,
we talked about the Houlihan as a possibility.
I never needed to spend a dime after that. Like, I never did the potions because I can't hold a controller. Shut up, Ace. And then the Ganon death. Like, I was mashing the Y button and I just like, I'm like, okay. At that point, I was like,
don't worry, my Ganon was also super scuffed.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where all these things went wrong. Like towards the end of the game, I'm going like, okay, this is like if he finishes now, then it's both the deaths that did it, and then it's like, okay, what's the one death? And then like I'm in Parlor, and it's like, okay, well now it's the Ganon death if you finish it. It's just like
I was not close to finishing. I still had to do Dragon again, X-ray climb out again.
Yeah.
And then go do Torian, like, and I wasn't gonna make you watch that.
No, I mean if I was in Parlor and you finished, I was gonna forfeit. Like,
yeah,
I was so mad. Like,
I was pretty mad about the X-ray climb thing. Like, I just had so much trouble getting door stuck the first time. Like, I just don't understand what was going wrong.
Getting door stuck high jump list is actually kind of weird.
Yeah, but like the first two, I felt like my grabs were good. Like I was on the rightmost pixel, got a stationary spin jump, got a good low door check. Like all the things that you want to see were fine. And so I just ended up crouching and I was like, okay, fine.
I was actually practicing it like literally this right before the race because I haven't done X-ray climb in forever. And like you can actually be like standing on the ground and in the door and it still works. So like you can do like a really low door check.
Yeah, I did. Like I thought the first 2 or 3 were really low, but I came out crouching. So then I was like, okay, maybe I'll check a little higher.
Yeah,
and that didn't work, of course. So I was like, no, obviously I'm just doing something wrong. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but
yeah, it's really finicky without high jump.
In the end, yeah, that missing high jump. I mean, who knows where it could have been GT even. It could be. I mean, we didn't see any of Meridia pretty much, just the book.
I mean,
So
I think if I'm more comfortable and not like incompetent, that if I just when I get spring ball, if I just say okay, that's it, and don't check anything, that I probably like if can keep it close, but that is not the situation I was in, so I deserve to lose.
I mean, also like if we get to take back our horrible mistakes, then, like,
Yeah.
If we get to play that game.
Oh no, I'm not talking about taking back horrible mistakes. I'm just saying like this was a willful decision, not a mistake. It was I played badly. I made a choice to play badly, and I deserved to lose on the back of it. It wasn't like a mistake thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to invalidate your win with 5 try-next deaths, dude. Don't worry.
No, I mean,
Hey,
Yeah,
it was 2, and I climbed the mountain.
Okay.
At the very least, it definitely kept it interesting as a race, having like not having parity with your item sets and with what you guys had to overcome. You know, the extra mail upgrade and hearts and potions made Maniacal made your stuff a lot safer. Like
Yeah, I grabbed the blue mail off the
made a big
floating
difference.
island because I'm a scrub.
Yeah, like I said,
It saved you
if I was
time.
gonna do Master Sword Ganon, then I was gonna grab it. I was probably just gonna clear out everything on First Sword or maybe Sword or something. But like,
And I assumed I
Once
was
I found
doing Master
Tempered, I was
Sword
like,
Ganon because there was so much left on the map. I was like, well, the swords are probably like GT and Meridia, and I really don't want to do that. So I assumed I was Master Sword Ganon. So I was like, well, I'm also Master Sword Tri-Next May as well. Like, get it now.
yeah,
I hate not playing with boots. Like that's.
I assume that's why you died to Ganon. That's what I mentioned.
Yeah,
That's
I
probably
forgot.
what
I was like,
caused
oh,
that
right,
because you
there's-
can't dash in the fire ring, so you just slashed impulsively
Well,
and then
the
took.
reason I died, I was just walking straight to because I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna cape, and I was just walking and mashing Y, and the cape didn't go off.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
cape lag.
cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I
That's the thing.
caped. It was not the finest Ganon. I also took like an extra teleport because I counted bad and thought I needed a triple, and I didn't.
Yeah, these things can happen. Well, any idea when you might go ahead and play this match with Aussie? I don't know if he stayed up for this. I know it's like
He is
his
he
time
is dead.
zone.
He is dead asleep. I promise you. So.
Yeah, he was here at the beginning, and then even at the beginning, you guys were starting at midnight Eastern. He's an hour and a half ahead of that. So.
Yeah, he's probably getting some good sleep. It's better he didn't watch this anyway. This is not. It may have been entertaining, but it wasn't informative.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on his schedule, but like we got 2 calls this weekend, so either Saturday or Monday.
Wait, we have 2 quals?
The
SMZ3
SMR
and
tomorrow.
SM Rando.
Oh,
Yeah.
SM. Okay.
SM tomorrow and SMZ3.
I thought there were 2 more
on Saturday
SMZ3 calls, and I was about to get upset with Tracy.
night. Oh no, yeah, no, I was,
Please keep adding qualifiers.
No, I'm not adding another qual for the in person.
I could use like 3 or 4 more, honestly.
Yeah, we had a couple people that couldn't make the original times, and I had made the mistake of surveying you all when those times should be without actually getting names for who could do what quals. So I was guessing at what would work, and then nope, that didn't quite work. So we added the third one, but in any case, it's going to be a lot of fun for the in-person one's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun to watch Duck and Aussie in the final. Maybe Maniacal, maybe you jump in on comms for the final. I don't know. You get
Well,
Maybe. We'll see.
And
Yeah, so when I
Maniacal,
died, I don't know, Moldorm 8 times, you can be like, I lost to this guy.
I mean, I can do that right now, but then like, but I lost to this guy. I mean, like, y'all just watched. I played like trash and lost, like deserved.
well, you got your chance of redemption as well, Maniacal, against Bressingham.
Nah,
For the
Bress and
bronze
I aren't
match.
going to play that. There's no money on it, so.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why you have a bronze match when there's a third and fourth structure identical. So we're just not going to waste the time.
Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why that got put
Okay.
into the challenge. I did not set that up.
Yeah, if Bress wants like a prop bet of like $50, I'll pay him for a money match. But I don't think either of us really want to play.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
That's fair. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's too many other tournaments.
Do winner takes all. Well, I mean, why not? Like, just do it.
I mean, why the hell not, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, like that just means that we have to play another match, and I think that we're both like so
you can
done.
You can do it whenever though. Just at some point, do a whatever the half is. Just play for all of it.
I already played Brass in groups.
Okay, well then take his lunch money. I don't like. Wait, did you win or lose?
I won in groups.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then take his lunch money.
Easy game, right?
Yeah,
But I'll probably try and catch the finals. But there's just so many other tournaments. I don't think the bronze is going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
We were already talking about it. I was just like, yeah, I'd rather not play that.
Yeah,
If Duck
I'm
beats me, I'm
happy
just
to
gonna
have to worry
call
about
that
getting a
like
crew for 2 matches.
GG.
We'll get a good crew for the finals and leave it at that. All right. Anything else y'all want to add before we close this out?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, basically that. Sorry, Scupula and Tracy and Ace Zero, and thank you for crewing stuff, and GG Duck, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was, what was the thing from like everyone in this room is now dumber for having watched that.
A lot of what not to do's going on.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think the most annoying thing is like I think I played fine, and then it was just like I ran face first into Trinex multiple times, like and other stuff too. So, and I just thought like there was no way. So, but you know, anything can happen. So.
That's why you don't forfeit until you see the other person finish.
Well, I almost forfeited because my monitor didn't work.
Well, I forfeited once the other person finished. Don't worry, I didn't like proactively.
Yeah, no,
forfeit
I
while
saw.
was
I saw.
going Drake. Okay.
Yeah, I saw. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. First of all, if you aren't already following the runners, we'll go ahead and put that in chat. They promise to do better. I don't know. They're both fun to watch, though, so definitely give them a follow. Like to thank them for putting on this show one way or the other. I'd like to thank my co-com for joining me, Ace Zero. I know it's for us, it's like 2 a.m. right now, so staying up pretty late with me. I know, Duck, you're in the Pacific time zone. You're like, what, just barely at midnight?
Yeah, this is when I used to race when on the East Coast, so like I barely get to play. Like this is my preferred racing time, but I never get to do it anymore. So when I get either night owls or other PST people, I'm like, we're racing late. I don't care.
Yeah. Maniacal, I know you like to start as late as you can. So
I'm
so
super happy starting at like doing like the 11 to 2 race for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was really glad I got to do like. I got to race Ivan and Duck in brackets, which was awesome.
Isn't that perfect for you?
It was
no
like
Europeans.
ideal.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's like your kryptonite is racing Europeans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the real problem with my schedule right now is the other tournaments I'm in. Like my group is like 2 Europeans and someone with like old man bedtime, and I'm just like, oh god.
I just make Europeans play at like 9 a.m. It's like I'll stay up to 3.
You had the worst luck with those Europeans, but
I offer. I'm like, hey, you want to play an early morning game? And they're always like, no, Saturday afternoon for you.
Careful how much stank you put on the word European. You know, like.
No, just always shut down.
The Dutch.
I
love you, Ari, by the way.
No.
And of course, yeah. And thank you to everybody. And of course, Scupula on the tracking. Can't do it without those trackers or the MVPs of our tournaments. That's going to do it for all of us, I think. Unless you guys have more. Keep an eye out on the schedule for the finals, and we'll see you at that race.